And we should be live, Chooms. Welcome back, welcome back. Hopefully everyone can hear me well. I always check this because you never know with OBS. Every time I start this, everything is good, and once I go live, everything breaks. That's OBS in a nutshell. So welcome, Chooms, welcome. Today is the day. Today, CD Projekt Red is dropping update 2.0. I am honestly very excited for all of you to try it out and to check it and see it for yourself. Before we begin, I just want to say hello everyone, thank you for coming. We already have 800 people on the stream. I am blown away. I don't know what to say. Thank you for stopping by and taking away from your day to be here. So the show, or well, the main live stream is going to be starting in about 27 minutes on official CD Projekt Red Twitch channel and YouTube channel as well. They started streaming on YouTube, so that's nice because usually it was just Twitch before. Now I also saw Volpin here from CD Projekt. Thank you for being here, and glad you could join us. And also welcome everyone else. More like 1.1k. Wow, this number is going up. Thank you a lot. That's wild. Kirkis, what's up, man? Doing good. As you can probably see from me, I'm kind of tired because over the past week and a half, I was reviewing Phantom Liberty in 2.0. There was a huge Phantom Liberty review video which came out yesterday, which was half an hour. For people who follow my channel, they know that I don't usually do longer videos unless, you know, there is something really big to show. So that video took a lot of time to make, and today I was working on a 2.0 new video because as soon as the update goes out, I'm allowed, obviously as everyone else, to post that specific gameplay only for 2.0, so I will have a video prepped for you later. It may not come out as soon as the patch is out, but definitely later today. So the patch itself should be coming, as it's said by Lalaya. She is the senior community manager for CD Projekt Red. They said that they are aiming to release after the live stream itself, so most likely after the live stream is done, you're gonna be seeing the update start. Now, is it gonna happen the same minute or maybe half an hour after it? I really don't know. I don't have access to that information. Wait, is someone having a birthday today? I don't see who is having a birthday, but happy birthday to everyone who's watching and whose birthday is today. Happy birthday. Yeah, so 2.0 should be coming at 5 or 6 p.m. Central European Summer Time, but obviously, you'll see, the update is gonna start. Keep in mind, if you haven't already, if you have any mods installed on your PC, whatever, remove them. Completely remove the actual files, like the Cyberpunk file itself, because the changes are big to the point where most of the mods, 90% of them, are going to be broken. It's everyone's birthday. Ah, okay, I see. So it's birthday because it's 2.0. Yeah, I see. What time is it starting? So the stream itself is going to be starting in 25 minutes. Johnson Abram, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you so much. Is there any change additional in the character creator panel? To be honest, I don't think I've noticed any changes when it comes to character creation. I think that's pretty much the same. I didn't see any changes to that. Will it be worth it to replay or just skip? In my opinion, it's definitely worth a replay. I'm already I finished, when I was doing the review, I had my character which was already set up because I have a character which is has more attribute points and perk points than usually you have for a character, because that one only serves for testing stuff, you know, different perks and what happens if I have all of it. But afterwards I created a new character and started from the beginning, so the missions themselves, you know, that's gonna be similar, but just the outside of the city with cops and everything, and with vehicle combat, that's a big plus. So I think for me that warrants another playthrough. But yeah, depends on your time. Anyone have an easy way to remove all of the mods without a fresh install? So there is the mod remover on Nexus. I tried it a bit. It works, but the problem is, even with that, it still leaves some files in. and that might create problems. Now it really depends how many mods you use. Like you could have used maybe 5 mods in total and you remove them, that's fine. But for people who use like 50, 100 more mods, then you know, that's impossible. So the best thing is to just delete the file or download another one, and that's it. Don't worry about your saves. Your saves are going to be in another location. What about Metro? I mean, Metro is not there. I mean, yeah. There is no Metro system. I think, when is the update coming in India? I think the update is gonna be dropping at the same time for everyone. I doubt they're gonna be doing like different releases for different time zones. I think when it basically drops, when they release it, it's gonna be across, you know, all platforms which are available, like PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. So Steam, GOG, Epic, whatever. Yeah, clean install all the way, definitely. And if I miss some comments and I miss some greetings, I'm sorry. Welcome everyone, welcome. PS5 version, what about it? Well, you're gonna be getting the patch very normally. So when the update is available, it's gonna be downloading. How long will the stream be? I honestly think that the main Cyberpunk stream might be about an hour. I doubt they're gonna be going for longer, but I don't know. Usually it's like 45 minutes to an hour that they do it. So it's coming out today? Yes, today is the day. Today is the release day, 21st. And the expansion is coming out on 26th. Why are new CPU requirements so high on PC? So this is one of the things which I already said in my 2.0 first impressions. When it just came to like, when I left the game and I entered the game. I left the game, I downloaded the update, I entered the game. For me, frame rate stayed the same. It does help a lot with DLSS 3.5. It makes things much better without unnecessary blurriness, which was my problem with DLSS always. But in general, frame rate stayed the same. Like obviously I can only test this on 3070 Ti. I don't know how it's going to behave on other GPUs, other systems, other CPUs. If I could test all of that, I would, but yeah, for that you gotta check out like Digital Foundry and the rest of the guys who do like really specific benchmarks. What I ate for breakfast? Actually, I ate a burger for breakfast, which is moronic to do, but I was in hurry and I didn't like it at all. Your volume is a bit low. I doubt it because my mic is actually peaking, almost peaking into the red line, so check it out. That's a lot of G Fuel, yeah. So the G Fuel, I'm an affiliate with G Fuel. If you use code LKM, you can help the channel in an extra way, but yeah, a lot of G Fuel here. This is the immunofluid, the Cyberpunk Edge Runners one. Very cool, very good taste actually. The combination with grape, banana, apple, top tier. I won't recommend burger for breakfast, man. I just had to do it because I was busy. Yeah, I had to grab something quickly and yeah. How much space does update take? I don't know exactly. The reason why is because I downloaded the update and PL differently. So I don't know exactly, like might be 30, 40, I don't know. Like you'll have to see. Cuz we're still waiting for full patch notes, and those full patch notes are going to be releasing with the update because I saw the changes, but I want to see all of the minor changes that they did, and a lot of that cannot be done unless you have patch notes, so hopefully they release it today. You know, the problem with sound is that I have people tell me that they can barely hear me while I have people telling me the sound is listen, this microphone and the sound is pretty much the same as it always was, so I don't know, check your volumes. I don't know what to tell you, because definitely like check your headphones, other stuff, whatever. 18 minutes, absolutely, my friend. Is it on PlayStation 4? Absolutely not. So the update is only PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. That's it. What CPU do I have? I have Ryzen 7 5800X. And it works great. Like, one of the things which people were scared about is that, oh my god, PC is gonna be overheating with this update. Honestly, no. Like, the temperatures that I had, for as long as you have good cooling in your system, I didn't have a problem with it. Yeah, I see some people got me on 50% and I'm loud and clear, so that's good. I'll believe the majority. If majority say that sound is fine, I'll just leave it. Is the breach protocol removed? More revised in a sense. It's used in different areas now. You'll see for yourself. You'll see. But it's not completely removed. I have 3070 Ti. Where is the actual stream? Starting in 15 minutes on Twitch and on YouTube. So Twitch official CD Projekt Red channel and YouTube also, I think, official CD Projekt Red. Do I play with RT on? I play both. So I play with RT on and RT off. Mostly because I want to see the changes and differences. I mean, if you turn on ray tracing, I don't have, what is that? Frame generation, whatever they call it. That's for 4X series. And right now you can use DLSS 3.5 with 3X. And I don't know if you can use it with 2X, but with 3X, yeah, normally. For the rest, path tracing, I mean, I tried path tracing before, but on 3070 Ti, it's, even with DLSS, it's, frame rate is not the best. So, yeah. I checked last night where my PC will be after this. If you have 3070 Ti, don't worry, it's all gonna be fine. I can vouch for that one. For the rest, you have to see. Are aerial takedowns removed? I think it triggered once, but to be honest, I didn't have it too much. I have to test this more. Let me see the actual, like, they start streaming? Nope, not yet. So there is no countdown yet. I hope they won't do like again, like they're gonna be starting at 4, but there is gonna be like a 15-minute. Oh no, they're starting now. Good. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a different screen in a second. Just give me a moment. There we go. There we go. So the countdown is up. They're gonna be starting in 14 minutes. I can't wait. Are there any new weapons in 2.0? Some weapons have been revised, but I don't think there's new weapons. But they have been revised, like some of the bonuses and like attributes, not attributes, just bonuses you get from weapons and how they work. It changed a bit. And you also now have stamina, which goes away if you are shooting from the hip. At first, like, I didn't notice it, but maybe at the start of your playthrough when you are a weak character, that can really play a role. So my suggestion, if you're shooting, just don't full auto, just, you know. What resolution do I use? I use 1080 for now. I am getting a 4K monitor soon. I'm trying to figure out which monitor am I gonna be getting. Either a wide or just a normal one, we'll see. I'm very interested in the widescreen one, like the fully wide, like the curved one. But I talked with people who have them and they are very happy with them, but I don't know personally, I'll have to see. Can you go Cyber Psycho? Yes, if you start hitting people, but you will never lose control of your character. Like, the debuffs that they have for cyberware are mostly for health regeneration. You won't be losing control of your character. But if there is 5 stars and you're fighting max tech, they're gonna be saying in the radio like, we're having a Cyber Psycho problem, because technically by then you are a Cyber Psycho. There are no flying cars. Are save files still in one folder? Yes. Yes, that's also something I wanted long time ago. 4K will be a challenge for the 3070 Ti. Yeah. That's why I'm kind of holding off on that, because I'm like, the problem is I don't want to buy 4X series. I'm waiting for the next generation, so maybe I wait until then, just because, you know, having a 4K monitor can really like destroy your GPU. Will I be able to grind for Phantom Liberty before it drops during 2.0? I mean, you can play with your character however you want. I mean, the most important thing is that you finish the Voodoo Boys mission, and that's when PL starts, but that is known. Any visual cyber arms are similar in the base version? That's pretty much like cyberware was changed, and there is different versions of the same cyberware, but as I said in my other like reviews, like 2.0, like that's like, it's just revised cyberware. It's not new cyberware in that sense. It does have some things. Which I'm not going to spoil now, because I also can't. I will have in my video, but I mean, there's still internal cyberware. It's not going to be weapons. Does it matter if I start over today? No, it doesn't matter. Like the saves, like after the update, all of the saves that you had, you can start whatever save you want. It's not going to be a problem. I already started fresh. Already going. I think I'm almost done with Act 1 with my new character, but the problem is like it takes so much time, and there's only like 24 hours of a day. Will our Sandy builds be busted now? No. Oh man, you'll see it for yourself. Oh boy. Oh man, Sandavistan is crazy. Oof. Because you've seen it in the builder, you can use it, both Sandavistan and Kereznikov, in your car, just like it was in Edge Runners. I tried it, it was wild. It was actually wild. The affiliate GOG link doesn't work, really? Huh. I'll have to check it out afterwards. Because editing, like the problem with YouTube trying to edit the description now, it's impossible. But I'll thank you for letting me know. I'll definitely check it out. Also, if you really want to buy through my link, you can just go through my check out my latest Phantom Liberty review, and I think those links will work. But yeah, thank you for letting me know. Metro, no. Like the biggest changes you've seen, they were already listed with, you know, CDPR listed them pretty well, so people know like what is there and what's not. So the biggest things, like if Cyberpunk had a metro system, or if it was included, trust me, they would talk about it a lot. Mohammed, thank you so much for the donation. Is the new ending part of 2.0 Phantom Liberty? As it's been said, it's a part of PL. Not 2.0 is just 2.0. So 2.0 is for the base game that you know. PL is a different story. But it does unlock, PL unlock something. Everything else like 2.0, no. That's pretty much the same. I do think that maybe there's some more dialogue options in some scenes, but again, I have to go through the entire game properly in order to know that. How will crafting work in the new update? Pretty simple, like it was before. So it's just moved to another tab. That's why people were kind of scared, like, oh, where is the crafting? But it's just another tab. It requires crafting resources from tier 1 to tier 5. Tier 1 crafting resources craft tier 1 weapons and so on. Very straightforward in that sense. Same when it comes to upgrades. And you must have blueprints like before in order to craft. But it's a lot easier because it doesn't ask for more items. It just asks for that one item which you get from like loot, whatever. Iconic weapon vendor. That's it for now. Anything I look forward to that's in 2.0? Oh, man, like I think my biggest plus was revised cyberware. system, because cyberware now works a lot better. The synergy between cyberware and perks is a lot better. The abilities you get with it is amazing. And the second thing, wanted system. It's great. Can I refund the game on PlayStation 4? Hey, you gotta ask Sony. You gotta ask them. So John, I cannot talk about some of those things. And to be honest, I don't want to talk about those things because I want you to find out for yourself. There is a reason for it. Yeah, no spoilers, like I avoid that. Why are people saying that Sandevistan is ruined? It's absolutely not. It is absolutely not ruined. Oh man, it's good. There's also some different variations of Sandevistan you can also get, just you'll see it. Click for gameplay. Hey man, what's up? Definitely check him out. Great channel specifically for RPG games. Check him out. Like, he covers a lot of RPG games. Is the new game plus planned? Honestly, like, obviously I'm not CD Projekt, but I doubt. Like, they said multiple times, like, it would take too much time. And to be honest, if New Game Plus was supposed to be a part of the game, it would have been with this. Because this update 2.0 and Phantom Liberty, so update 2.0 is the last feature update for Cyberpunk. There will be no more features afterwards. Like, they're gonna be going to work on different projects. Red Engine is done. Cyberpunk is done. Same when it comes to expansion, only one expansion, that's it. They won't change their plans, trust me. I would love more expansions in Cyberpunk. I would love one more, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, so for everyone asking again, update 2.0, as it's said by CD Projekt, is coming after the stream. Hopefully. I can confirm the link doesn't work. Great. Thank you for letting me know. I'll check it out. Have the driving physics changed? So when it comes to driving, it's a bit better. There's some different sounds for some cars, and some of the vehicles which were problematic to drive are a lot better to drive now. Now, of course, it's not going to be a 180-degree change. Like, it's not going to be completely new driving system, but I think it's optimized enough so that in like corners, and if you're just trying to move around tight spaces, it's a lot more, how would I say, responsive than before, and vehicle doesn't really do those jittery animations like it did, like when you're trying to like move from one place to another, then the car does like this. It doesn't do it anymore. Collision is also better. Like, you know, before when you hit someone in the game and then they basically collide and they start shaking, doesn't happen anymore. So especially useful because you're gonna be, you know, people are gonna be gunning for you in those vehicles, so you gotta. My voice is not low, mate. You gotta check your speakers and whatever. Because I can see on my OBS. And if I put my voice any louder, it's not gonna be good. I know it's a groaner, but Cyberpunk saved my life and it was the only escape for me when things were hard. I am really glad CD Projekt Red never gave up on this masterpiece. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, having a game like this where you can just escape reality and think about other stuff is great. Hey, Southern, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. How are you doing, my friend? Greetings from Poland. Greetings to Poland. Hey, Video Game Vigilante, what's up? Heard that they will focus on The Witcher after this. Yeah, so I think the main focus after all of this Phantom Liberty and 2.0 is The Witcher. We don't know exactly the exact details, but one thing which kind of makes me sad is that after all of this is done, there is going to be a long wait until we see anything from like CD Projekt when it comes to like new content in terms of like The Witcher and especially Cyberpunk, which is gonna be... We reached 2,000 viewers. Wow, I'm I don't know what to say. Every single time I go live, I honestly expect like 100 people, 200 maybe, but having this many people is amazing. Thank you. Obviously, I know that a lot of people are here because of the live stream, but being here and choosing to watch this stream when there is other streams as well, thank you for that. It means a lot. They gotta build out the Boston Cyberpunk studio. Yeah, that's gonna take a while. You know, setting up a new studio, finishing everything there, setting up people, then trying to, you know, working on that is, man, I don't expect it anytime close. Like, I know CD Projekt is very optimistic that they want to have like a lot of games in like the span of 6 years and whatever, but knowing CD Projekt, usually things take longer than expected. Thank you, really, thank you for the support. You have to twerk for 2,000 now. Where is the official stream? The official stream is on Twitch TV/CD Projekt Red or YouTube, I think, also CD Projekt Red. So yeah, check it out there. Mohammed, thank you so much for another donation. Yeah, so sometimes my voice can be low, but I always have this on OBS where I check it. I'm not great with sound though, like sound is not my primary line of work, it's video. And everything which has to do with visual and video, that's me. I have another dude, which not for YouTube, but for my other work, I have a guy who does sound stuff and audio stuff. I don't know anything about it. Like, I can just know like the basics of sound. Kebby, thank you for your donation, but we're not gonna be twerking. We're gonna be twerking for 1 million concurrent views. Because I know that ain't happening. Thoughts on the new soundtrack? Great. Now let me just quickly get the sound rolling. Now, if it gets too loud, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this for the time being. No, wait, actually, yeah, fuck it. Alright, let's watch, folks. Mr. Sweden, thank you so much for your donation. Means a lot, thank you. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the RedStream. My name is Amelia and I'll be your host today, together with my partner in crime, Alicia Kozera.
Hey guys!
And we have two amazing new guests, so please give a warm welcome to Filip Dovnar, gameplay lead designer.
Hi.
And Rafał Obremski, sorry, I have to read that title, gameplay designer and gameplay design coordinator.
Hello.
Very long title.
Yeah, whenever someone asks, I just say that I make games, that's fine.
Make simple.
Just like all of us.
Exactly.
Okay guys, so a couple of weeks ago we met you for the first RedStream about Update 2.0 and Phantom Liberty, and we told you some more about Dogtown, some of the characters coming with the expansion. We talked about car combat, new reworked perks and attributes, as well as the relic skill tree from Phantom Liberty, and we also went over the revamped police system. And today we have even more changes and new features to go through. So we will start with airdrops, a new open world activity from Phantom Liberty. Then we will go through combat AI enhancements. We will also go through cyberware changes, net running changes, balance and economy changes, UI changes. So, you know, there's a lot of changes to go through.
Sorry.
You will probably be able to download the update before we finish the stream. It will be available from 5 p.m. CEST today.
5 p.m. There you go.
And if you are wondering how much space you need, let me help you with that. So for PlayStation 5, you're gonna need 38 gigabytes of space. For Xbox, you're gonna need around 52 gigabytes of space. And for PC, around 33 gigabytes of space.
Okay.
So hopefully after the stream, you will be able to jump right into Update 2.0 in Cyberpunk 2077. Unfortunately, today we are not with you live, but we will hold a Q&A session at the very end with questions that we gathered from our Discord and our forums asked by you.
Q&A.
So the Update 2.0 will be available after the stream. Let's jump in.
Yeah, so, you know, guys, gameplay overhaul, philosophy behind 2.0. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. First and foremost, it's called 2.0 for a reason. I don't think we left any stone unturned in terms of gameplay. We did a great overhaul over almost all of our systems. So the philosophy behind it, the main thing we had in mind while working on it, we are CD Projekt Red, we are storytellers. And we are telling the stories not only in narrative part of the game, but also in gameplay. And in gameplay, it's up to the player to decide how the story looks exactly, what kind of character they are, what kind of play style they are using, and all of this we wanted to be actually made consciously by player. All of the decisions in regards to the character they are.
Yeah, it's all really about the RPG element, role playing. Of the whole thing. We wanted the builds and the cyberware to be more immersive, for the players to represent themselves more through those. The builds are more distinctive. Your choice when it comes to cyberware is also much bigger and richer. So it was really all about just giving this freedom of actually being able who I want to be in this world while having this glorious adventure.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I can't wait to, see what our players think of the update. So, let's just start with what Alicia already mentioned. So let's go to airdrops. What can we say about airdrops?
Hey, new gameplay.
So the most important thing, they're super awesome. We love airdrops. And basically, airdrops are a new open world activity, and that happens only in the Dogtown area. You will not see this on a minimap, but it's quite hard to miss. You'll hear the AV dropping the big package on the Dogtown area.
Flying over the district.
Exactly, and there are flares that will guide you where they are. Getting to airdrop itself, it's a little bit challenging. We wanted for it to be not only the challenge in terms of the encounter that happens there, but also sometimes it is quite challenging to get to the location itself.
Or even how to approach it from which side.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, it's also, you can maybe try stealth approach or something like this. But as I mentioned, the combat is also a little bit challenging there, sometimes even quite challenging, I would say, because the loot there is also something that we wanted to be worth it. The airdrops, important thing to mention, they are an endless loop of combat and loot, so you can do them forever, but that does not necessarily mean that the combat is the same for every encounter.
Thank you
it
for
very
that
much
for
differs.
Thank you.
So we can try it out, play around, try different airdrops and see how they change. Because yeah, as I mentioned, they are awesome, right? So.
Yeah, we have like multiple spots. Those spots have like different versions of those encounters, and what's also really cool is that as you will be like doing them, you will be leveling up, and your possibilities, your abilities to approach them will also be different. So even when you come back to get the airdrop, how you tackle it can be different depending on how your playstyle has evolved.
All right, sounds good. And you mentioned that it will be challenging, so I assume there are like various guards of this airdrop of the loot, right? Can we maybe talk about the changes to the AI and to the combat enhancement that we did in 2.0?
Mm-hmm. For 2.0, we focused in terms of AI itself. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We focused rather on building on top of what we already had. But that being said, we did quite a lot. We especially in stealth. So, for example, if you try to approach this airdrop in stealth, as we mentioned, you probably would notice that having a silenced pistol, the enemy you could probably see a situation in which the enemy does not hear the gunshot because of the silenced weapon. But the fact that they will see the bullet will start. They will start investigating. Hey, there's a bullet here. Like, probably, guys, we are in danger. Maybe let's start investigating where this bullet came from. And their search behaviors also changed. They will be a little bit more challenging in this manner. So, with our changes to stealth, we also wanted for AI to maybe catch up a little bit.
They can extrapolate the bullet trajectory and like know where the bullet is coming from to like influence their search behavior and patterns. It's just more realistic and believable.
Exactly.
Smart.
Yes. In terms of AI, we also focused on changing some of the archetypes we already had in the game, but they are now so different that we could probably call them distinctive and different or new. So we focused really a lot on changing the Netrunner in terms of AI, and that's an awesome change because that was one I was personally waiting for after playing the game. And from now on, Netrunner will no longer only try to damage you. It's a huge change because from now on, we wanted enemy Netrunners to be more in like the live inside of the Cyberpunk world, because Netrunners in Cyberpunk are those a little bit more smart personalities. So from 2.0 in AI, Netrunner will try to, for example, upload a cyber malfunction on you, maybe weapon jam,
Restart optic.
yes, blind hack, and in some
They do hack more.
critical situations, they will also try to upload system collapse on you, which is yeah. If you don't,
This one you don't want to have.
yes, let's just say that. If you see system collapse, you should probably try to interrupt it because this stays the same. You can always interrupt it.
The coolest thing about this is not even that they became smarter. That too. But first and foremost, the way it changes how you approach combat at the very moment, you know, because as Rafał mentioned, we have numerous different quick hacks, which are very different, and they affect you differently depending on what type of playstyle you prefer and in what kind of situation you are. If you're vulnerable, you know, then restart optics is something different than when you're safe and hidden. So you have to be on your toes, think about your surroundings, and depending on the situation, make those small decisions like, should I go after the Netrunner or continue what I was doing and like take it, you know, straight on.
But
Exactly.
as a player, we can also defend against Netrunners,
Absolutely.
right? We can have our own eyes that it won't allow them to hack us.
Yes, yes. We even have like the cyberware that is negating those quick hacks from time to time on cooldown.
Yes.
You know.
That's true.
If you feel like it's a problem, then there's the cyberware to help you with this.
Yes, exactly. Plus, some things stay the same. For example, Netrunners will still try to use proxies as their bodies to hack you through them, so you don't always have to find the Netrunner themselves,
yeah.
but maybe try to find a proxy.
Yeah, break the link.
Other archetype that we worked quite a lot in general is the Elite archetype. From now on, you will see them on the battlefield a little bit more clearly because they have skulls, red skulls above their head. Yeah, that's
Very
something.
clear.
Yeah, exactly. Something we in general worked on quite a lot from 2.0 to make you really aware who you're fighting. So not only elites will have distinctive UI on them, other rare enemies, for example, will have a different health bar.
Chunks.
2 chunks. Elites
Instead
will
of
have
one.
3 chunks. You will be able to spot it quite easily. And elites themselves are really revamped and kind of tougher versions of the enemy. They change quite a lot in terms of who should you target, how your playstyle actually is affected by them being on the battlefield, because probably you could try to play into more of a person that focuses on crowd control and damaging a lot of different enemies at one time. But the fact that elites are a thing that, you know, there's a singular enemy that is a little bit tougher makes you rethink your playstyle. Maybe I want to have something that will allow me to focus on a singular target as well. Or not,
Yeah.
like,
Or not.
it depends on you.
Yeah, like whether crowd control is your thing and you want to control the elite or you're just going to burst it down, that's also a possibility. It really depends on how you play. Another thing regarding the AI itself is that it's much more, I would say, adaptable to how you play. It's gonna react differently if you're like going straight in and you're super hyper aggressive. They will react. If you take the slower approach when you hide, when you are more like cover shooter gameplay, it is a thing for you. They will also behave differently. So it's also
That's
like a big change to how you play and how you have to think about the encounters.
Exactly, and building even on top of what you said, you could probably hide behind some cover. They will notice that and try to maybe lure you out from it with grenades and stuff.
They really got good at this.
Yeah, and now actually this is something that we also work quite a lot. The rule of thumb we took in regards of this is the higher difficulty you're playing on, the more player-like enemies will feel. So for example, on hard and very hard difficulty, they will have a little bit more verbs that are similar to what player can do. They will throw more grenades, they will even heal themselves more often. As I mentioned, the Netrunner will also adapt to your difficulty level. The higher it is, the quicker the hacks he applies will be, and stuff like this. We really focused on this, building this world that adapts. If you are progressing your player, you have new abilities and new verbs to you. We wanted the difficulty to be kind of something for AI to maybe simulate something similar.
It's generally how we approach the game difficulties in general. We try to make it more about engagement and like how much stuff happens that player has to take into consideration, and how important the effect of each of those action verbs is at current moment. Sure, there are like stats changes as well, as they have to be, but it's not about this. It's rather background, and on the forefront, it's about the composition of the NPCs and like their abilities and how active they are with using the abilities they have, because they have those abilities. Almost all of them they have across all the game difficulties. It's just they are much more proactive with
They're
them.
not bullet spongy. That's good.
Exactly.
Okay.
I can vouch
So
for that.
essentially, NPCs, AI will adjust their behavior to see what we are doing. But what about, like, I would like us to go more into the stealth gameplay that we are introducing in 2.0.
Sure.
So as we mentioned, AI itself will behave differently in regards to your stealth approach, but the stealth approach from the player's perspective changed vastly. We added a lot of new verbs for the player. For example, the ninjutsu perk that will allow you to sprint while crouching, which probably would look
A little bit funny.
in third person. So luckily we are in first person perspective. But this allows for a lot of opportunities in stealth in general. Other than
And even it's a cool decision making thing, because it costs stamina. You cannot stealth in crouch freely. Sorry, not stealth, sprint in crouch freely. So you have to think like when to do it, what your stamina is going to be, what will be like your how you'll act later on with the stamina that you have. So there are a lot of those like cool little decisions that you have to make, and it's much more fun.
Yeah. Another thing is the stealth netrunning loop we added. In general, we worked a lot on netrunner in the game from 2.0, but from now on, you will also have this new gameplay in regards to your stealth approach. There's a new system trace functionality that we added. Basically, it's like maybe role-playing a little bit, fighting netrunner with netrunner, that someone tries to stop you.
Or some kind of system.
Or some kind of system that will track that hey, there's a netrunner trying to kill our guys, maybe I'll try to trace him. Obviously, it's also in encounters that do not have netrunner in them, it's just our fantasy about it, but there's this thing that you will have to progress towards not being spotted while hacking people.
Yeah.
Traceable
and
and
think
non-traceable
about
hacks.
because not all quick hacks are traceable, and quick hacks are also traceable in like different on different level. Some are like extremely aggressive and like easy to spot, which makes the system netrunner to spot the player easier. And what do we mean by spot? Basically, your position will be revealed to all the encounter, and they'll know where you are, and they'll try to get you. So a player right now has to think like, okay, what do I value more? Do I want to make this aggressive push, get out, take one or two enemies with me because it's a good opportunity? I cannot go around them using regular stealth, or whether it's better to stay low and basically use my potential to the fullest while being hidden, and only then release the full potential of the playstyle.
Yeah. Another thing in stealth we changed is, in general, in Phantom Liberty, being this espionage, we wanted to add a lot more to the gunplay in terms of stealth. So there are a lot more silenced weapons play styles, and there are some combinations that weren't possible before. For example, from now on you'll be able to have a tech silenced weapon or smart silenced weapon.
Absolutely crazy.
Yes, yes.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
a lot
can
more
totally
stealth
go for
missions.
fully stealth
Definitely.
gameplay type. In weapons in general, we work quite a lot, but sticking to stealth, we also added a super cool optical camo abilities in Relic Tree. So this one is obviously Phantom Liberty exclusive, but there is a perk that will slow down time when you approach, like when you start being spotted using optical camo.
Yeah. Or even get you out of combat
yeah.
once it's already started, which is cool. And we also have like a very cool cyberware that can do crazy stuff, but we cannot reveal it due to story. But
Yes.
look
This one, yeah.
Yeah, look for it because it's really amazing.
It's a mystery.
Okay, so we're super excited to check out the new stealth loop,
I can
especially
vouch for
with the
that.
spy thriller vibes of expansion. It's gonna fit in right there. But while we were on the topic of AI, we actually have some questions from our community about that. So maybe let's jump into those. The first question is: has the density of NPCs and the intelligence of NPC AI improved throughout the entire map, or is it only inside Dogtown?
Obviously, every change to AI we made for the whole Night City. Every AI-controlled enemy will be revamped.
It's absolutely systemic.
Absolutely systemic. But that being said, obviously for Phantom Liberty, there are some custom encounters, for example, with bosses, and they are, as I call them, a little bit more custom. So for those to experience, you will have to have Phantom Liberty installed. But trust me, they're also super awesome. So I really encourage you to try them out because we also focused on bosses.
But those are, it's not like we have like some kind of Phantom Liberty specific systems for it. It's just the encounters that we have there use whatever we have slightly differently.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus there's Bargus, obviously, as
military, very militaristic faction.
Yeah, as faction that is only in Dogtown, although stuff like MaxTac will happen everywhere in the map. So
Okay. And the NPCs will be smarter throughout the entire Night City in general.
Yeah.
Awesome. Another question that we have from our community is: are there going to be crazy drivers who don't work along normal driving AI?
Yeah. We'll have not only like it's really hard to define like what do you call crazy driver, because for instance in Night City,
Crazy driver.
I'll show you my cam from my car. I'll show you exactly who are crazy drivers.
if you think like in Night City, in this world, which is like extremely visceral, brutal, where those gunfights can happen on every street corner, people are like scared, you know. They will try to drive away. They will try to avoid whatever obstacle is there. They will basically try to get away from danger as they drive, and it's gonna also happen like systemically. On its own. And the cool thing about it is that often while they're like panicking and trying to get away from the bullets, they may cause traffic accidents themselves and increase on the havoc. They can even drive over the policeman, for instance, and be chased themselves. You will see gang members fighting themselves or running away from the police. And while doing this, they don't care. They basically, you know, they drive over civilians, they crash into other cars. Player can watch and just have fun observing what's happening,
Or you can hack
or
the
take
cars.
sides and help either the side.
Yeah, exactly. And just one mention here that those car chases situations are fully systemic, fully AI-driven. Nothing is scripted, and they also would happen quite a lot if you would focus and maybe just observe or take part in them. But there are some cool moments with this as well. Like, for example, I believe I watched your playthrough recently that there was a situation in which you caused a gang member to be chased by police, like on purpose, kind of, or I'm not sure.
I was trying to get away from the police, and it was in Dogtown, which is quite crowded, and I was trying to find a spot to lose the police. And it so happened that the only corner I could find was like very close to a very small like gang. Nothing major. They were just hanging out, doing their daily stuff. And I was hiding them, and basically they didn't have any beef with me, so they basically didn't care that I was around. But it turned out that when the police came to basically investigate the last place they saw me, it turned out that they didn't really like each other. They started fighting, and I basically would just walk away and enjoy the fight because they didn't care anymore because they were basically fighting for their lives. And that's how I got away.
Just fetched popcorn. And
Pretty much. Pretty much. It was very fun.
Oh, that's also a strategy.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Crazy Drivers, obviously, there's also a system overhaul of the car system in general, car combat, but also cars in general, driving and stuff like this. So, so if you shoot out a tire of someone, they will also try to like maybe panic a little bit, try to steer it. Similar to probably.
Also, if you like use quick hacks on them, they also don't know how to react. They often like crash into things because of this. It looks super natural, and it creates those amazing, emergent gameplay moments that you can enjoy.
Yep. Nice. Okay, so it's gonna be super interesting seeing our players wreak havoc
in
Night City.
Waiting for those videos.
Yeah.
Really waiting for it.
Cool, guys. So thank you so much. Before we go into the next segment, let's sum up very quickly. So we're gonna have new activities in the open world, the airdrops in Phantom Liberty. We revamped the combat AI a lot, so we're gonna have weaker enemies, we're gonna have stronger elites. There's also been some changes to both Netrunner playstyles for NPCs, but also for the stealth loop for the player.
Yeah,
we are gonna see some crazy drivers in Night City.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so during the last stream, we touched upon some of the builds. We actually showed to our players the solo build with Gabe, but I would like us to talk about the net running. We already touched upon the net running a bit earlier, but what can actually our players expect in terms of net running?
So first and foremost, the biggest change in net running, and we really focused on this one, is the fact that the intelligence perk tree is from now on fully self-synergized, and you are really able to dive deeply into the playstyle of a Netrunner and really play with this fantasy. And the main thing that changed there is the fact that we moved smart weapons to the intelligence perk tree plus some other perks that will allow you to actively regain your RAM. So from now on, you don't really have to wait for it to regenerate. You can actually, upload some quick hacks on enemies, switch to your smart rifle, regain the RAM you lost, or maybe switch to your monowire. And then once you have your RAM back, you start hacking again, and it is more of a you have more choice to actively regain it.
But there's still the passive regeneration.
Thank you so much for the donation.
Definitely
Thank you so
passive
much.
regeneration.
Glad you're actually here on the
it's really
channel.
much more about the flow, the rhythm of how you quick hack and how you regain it. You have more impact on it. You can influence drastically how much RAM is regenerating. However, there are still plenty of options to do it passively, and there's always the cyberware, who basically at all times is trying to be there. If you think that something is missing from your build, cyberware will probably handle it and help you out. And this is it's a very nice pleasant change, because it's nothing obligatory. If you enjoy this active gameplay where you can regain this stuff, you can definitely do it. It's very rewarding. But if you prefer for this to work behind the scenes for you, absolutely an option, and you can even combine it.
Yes. Right. Plus, in general, we added some really cool perks and stuff for Netrunner. For example, there's this overclock perk that basically allows you. How it works is, once you if you have this perk, once you run out of RAM, you are able to use your health pool to be able to use it as a resource to throw hacks. So it, as you may expect, drastically changes how you play. You use your health pool, so maybe you want to think of cyberware to give you this armor to be able to maybe survive as well. It's also important.
It's a super cool perk, because it allows the player to basically think about his character not only in moment to moment, which is also important. Is it worth it even to cast this quick hack right here, right now, or am I putting myself into too vulnerable position, but also on this like a macro level that, okay, I love this perk, I love to using it as much as possible, so now I want to have cyberware that basically protects me when it happens, and there'll be like plenty of different types of cyberware and ways for you to build your character from the cyberware perspective around this one particular perk, but there are like tons of other examples like this.
Exactly. From intelligence tree in general, we also added some really cool stuff. For example, the copy paste ability, which is something super exciting. Like it's maybe a little bit OP in some situations because how it works is the
Perfectly balanced.
Yeah. How it works is if the enemy netrunner is trying to upload some hack on you, you can upload some hack on him, and the hack you chose will spread among the whole group of enemies. And I will just throw it out there. There is a suicide hack, so there are some situations in which it could be a little bit OP, but we are fine with it, I guess.
Oh, you know what to do, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go try it out.
So we already mentioned some of the quick hacks, but what else can we do with them? Like, can we do like a Q or combos?
Yes. In general, from Netrunner, we also worked on the Q functionality. The way it works, maybe we could quickly catch up with how it works. Basically, you need to be a Netrunner, you need a cyber deck. Plus, you need a perk, a specific perk from intelligence perk tree unlock to be able to throw Q hacks on
quick hacks.
And in the base version of this perk, you are able to queue 2 hacks on one enemy that will happen consequently on one enemy. You are able to modify it to allow you to throw up to 4 with perk progression as well. The way it works is, obviously, as you might expect, they will happen once you queue 2 hacks on one enemy. They will happen right after one consecutively, but also the upload time of them will be reduced to differ from a situation in which you upload one, wait, and then upload the second one. So this is the first gain from it,
and it's super cool because the stuff is that you may have like your favorite quick hacks, you already have it like all figured out, but now suddenly the addition of the queue makes you think differently about the quick hacks.
Yeah.
Maybe something that you were not using before, now because it's being able to be uploaded so much quicker, it's a completely different story. So you think about what type of cyber deck do I bring to a fight, what types of program do I bring to a fight, and it allows you to like experiment more and more with it. Two quick hacks queue is one thing, 3 is like a different thing, and then 4 is even different. It also reduces the amount of RAM it takes. So really, it's gonna take a lot of like skill to fully. The skill cap basically is super high for it, and but the reward is also amazing. Like once you get the feel for it, you're basically a god. But not because the damage is just high or the effects are so high, but because you did it. You were the one that were combining those queues in proper order, using those quick hacks at the right time, and using the proper cyberware and perks to accommodate for all of this.
With reduced RAM, it doesn't come from the base quick like hack queue perk, but there is a special cyber deck that will also reduce the RAM. And also allow you to combine those quick hacks in a queue in many more ways. Basically, as we mentioned, queuing quick hacks on one enemy, as Philip said, allows you also to maybe mix them up in more variant ways. There are combat and non-combat combinations that will allow you to have boosts to the stats that they gain to the enemy, reduce the upload time even more. And with this specific cyber deck, there's the combinations that you will be able to maybe sandwich combat hack in between 2 non-combat hacks, stuff like this. It will gain you much more bonuses and generally allow you to really find your Netrunner playstyle way more.
Yeah, it's you can be much more precise with how you wanna, what kind of Netrunner you wanna be.
All right, so
True.
we know what we can do to our enemies, but what can we do to cars?
Okay, so cars since 2.0 can be quick hacked as well. There are multiple I don't know how many. I think 4 or 5 quick hacks are available.
Four.
They become
I think
available
4.
to the player with the rarity of the cyber deck they use, and they're awesome. Like this is one of the coolest things when it comes to like the emergent gameplay that's happening in the city, and like what kind of fun you can have, you know, outside of encounters, just, you know, driving the city and just having fun, stopping police, exploding cars using remote control, just forcing them to speed up, and then, you know, you can force them to speed up while you take the off ramp from the highway, for instance. And there are like plenty of those like little things that you can do that basically not only are powerful on its own, but they create those unique, unpredictable situations that are fun. You know, a lot of explosions.
Yes, a lot of explosions, a lot of driving. Like I love the remote driving. It's coming back to my memories from childhood. But to be able to do it, basically, what you need is obviously a cyber deck. But there is a certain perk that will allow you to quick hack cars.
And it's very early on, so
yes.
It's nothing like you can get it almost right away.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, I can't wait to play a Netrunner myself. Maybe I'll finally give it a proper go.
Yeah, I think I'm
Deserves
gonna
it.
respect
Here,
into a
aren't
Netrunner.
In the chat.
All right, so thank you guys
A
very
little
much
bit of
for
trollage.
clarifying what we can expect in terms of net running as a player. So now, before we go to another segment, let's sum up quickly what we just talked about. So, we have the new queuing quick hack
vehicle
system. We
hacking
can
is
do amazing
like it.
combinations with them. We have overclock
For NPCs, it's fun.
skill to even boost this gameplay. And you can hack vehicles and you can do whatever you want with them. Like you heard the guys, so just give it a go.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, they're
absolutely.
telling the
Crazy
truth about the game, man.
All right, so next up we have one of the biggest
all of
changes,
that they
I
said
think, coming with
it's
update 2.0, which is cyberware. I know we've
With
changed
features
a
and
lot
all.
when it comes to cyberware. So maybe let's start with why did you even decided to change how cyberware works?
Sure. There were a couple of reasons. I think the first one was that we are thinking about cyberware as part of your build. You know, in a game like Cyberpunk, Night City, your skills and your character is just as important as the gear that you're having. It's a brutal world where this is just the brutal truth, and we wanted the cyberware to feel like this. It's basically something that is taking care of you behind the scenes. We were thinking about when we were designing the cyberware, we knew from the very get-go that we wanted the cyberware to support whatever play style you want to pick from the perks. Either pick the cyberware that basically brings this particular play style over the top, allowing to do crazy things, or if you feel that your particular build is missing something, cyberware is probably there to handle this problem for you. On top of it, there was this very important reason of argument for style over substance. It was absolutely crucial for us that we wanted for the players to not have to make this kind of difficult choice. Do I want to look like this, or do I want to have the best stats?
Yeah.
No, currently stats are in the cyberware, clothes are for your looks and to represent your character, to feel however you want to feel. Sure, there are a couple of stats here and there for clothes, but they are not for the RPG sake, like power level of your character. They're more even to like even more enhance this immersion and underlying the fact that they're just clothes. So you will see things that, for instance, Kevlar vest still have some kind of armor on it. But if you go and compare the Kevlar vest to like any basic cyberware you have, you know that basically you don't need Kevlar vest to be a tough guy in this world.
Yes, plus, we wanted the system to reflect on what is the world of Cyberpunk in general. Look at even the anime that is there already for quite some time, or even our characters in the game itself. Look at the Kurt Hansen character.
What?
You know, he's like a tough
Beefy
motherfucker.
guy,
Listening.
He is, the dog of Dogtown. Would probably expect him to sit inside of his apartment, trying scared for his life. But no, he's out there. He doesn't wear a Kevlar vest
Tank top rather.
Yeah,
Transmog it.
he wears a
Easy.
tank top, and in this world,
Put
why
Kevlar
is
and
that?
transmog it.
Yes, because at this high leagues, people gain those stats from Chrome, and we wanted this fantasy to also be in the game because, as Philip said to you, we really saw your fashion crimes, guys. You no longer have to, find every piece of the clothing that will give you some of the stats. But that being said, as Philip mentioned, there are still some stats. If you really want to min-max your character and have every piece of armor you can get,
Every little edge.
every little edge, or for example, there is a Netrunner headpiece that will give you some of the quick hack time upload speed reduction. But those are minor stuff. But if you want to min-max, you can still do it. And we have transmog in the game still, so you are able to have those stats on you, but look.
Still
Decent.
look good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And have different like sets of how you look. That's
Yeah.
also very cool.
Yeah.
5, 6
Okay,
slots,
so
I mean.
we have
I
a
wish
lot
there
of
was
changes
more.
to Cyberwar.
I wish
If
there
I
was
am
like
a
10
player
slots,
coming
but-
back to the game with my existing save in update 2.0, what does it mean to me? Will the game
Top
tell
left
me how
corner
it
guy
works?
thinks he's
Explain
dead.
it.
Yeah. So basically, one thing that you can expect is
my
as you go back to the game with your save, you'll get a quest you'll be called by Victor to visit his shop, and there will be a tutorial explaining all the new mechanics. We have a new, completely new cyberware panel where you'll be able to see the cyberware capacity. We'll probably be talking about this later. Armor and like explaining like where's what and how it works.
Awesome. So there's gonna be like a short quest to explain that. But yes, speaking of capacity, because that's very tightly connected to our cyberware.
If only they could untrack the
it
quest.
depends on, you have the limit of
But they
capacity,
can't.
and
Sadly,
on it
that's
depends
not
how
it.
much cyberware you can wear. But what would happen if I have too much cyberware? Can I go over this capacity, and also can I increase it somehow?
So first and foremost, you cannot strictly, we don't allow you to exceed this limit. You will not be able to unless there is one situation in which you can unlock a Edge Runner perk that will allow you to exceed this capacity by 50 points by the cost of the max health of your character. And with this perk, it's actually another example of our role-playing and playing with the fantasy of the world, because you just exceeded your cyberware. Now you have you are over the limit, and with this perk, there's this fury state that you can enter during combat and in general in the game. That will give
lot
you some
more
of the
cyberware
damage
you can
and crit chance boost, but it's something that we wanted to also play with the fact that you decided to change something in your character, and there is this state that you still control your character fully. It's not cyberpsychosis, but it's maybe something that you can think of in similar ways.
It's always fun.
You can act like a cyber psycho.
Exactly, role play.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw Edge Runners, this is basically the David Martinez
Yes.
perk.
Yes,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
the icon.
Yes.
Get
The
this, trust
downside
me.
for it is
It's worth
that
it.
your health
The
is
debuff
reduced
is nothing compared to what
like
you get.
at all times. But this only adds to this weight that there's a reason why there's a limit, because there's just so much your body can handle, and you cannot go over this limit. And this adds like more gravity and weight to every single choice that you make, because there's just so much to choose from, and it's up to you what do you think you need the most, or what do you enjoy the most, to pick those to complement your build.
All right. So
True.
there are, I know, some items and some perks that also
Yes.
Look at
affect
the UI,
both
by
our
the way. It
capacity
shows you
for
where the-
cyberware,
yeah,
but
actually
also some
installs the
cyberware
cyberware.
stuff.
Yes. So we have like new items that we've added. It's
Very nice.
actually one of my favorite items right now, because whenever it drops, I'm like, I have like this huge grin on my face
4,000
because
viewers. Thank you.
it can basically
Thank you
speed
so
up
much
my
for that. I don't know
the
what to
time where I
say.
can get my new cyberware
I'm
for like
speechless.
by one
Thank
level
you.
or something like this.
Thank
So
you.
there are items that drop that we call them cyberware capacity shards, I think,
Yes.
and they optimize your system so that essentially you can just basically get more cyberware. And we even have a cyberware dedicated just to increase your cyberware capacity,
That's so meta.
which seems like crazy, but this cyberware is extremely powerful, and I can't wait for people to like try it out.
Exactly. There's this
Yes.
awesome perk. It's called, I believe, Cyber Connoisseur. Yeah, that even adds, if you unlock it, it even allows you to have a choice between two stats while upgrading cyberware and stuff like this. It's all super.
And a lot more
So
slots.
you already told us
than
about
before.
this cyberware that allows you
4
to
perks, of
exceed
course,
the
if you put-
capacity. I mean,
Good points.
make it more. Anything else that you could spoil for our players? That's some new cyberware that is coming.
Really?
Like,
No money?
one of my favorites is that we added the cyberware for hands. It's not a smart link. It's not. It's a general cyberware that basically reduces the stamina cost while shooting. And
recoil.
with this cyberware, it's quite costly. But with this cyberware, you can reach basically like laser accuracy with most weapons. It's really amazing.
Wow.
Other than that, I don't know, a couple of other examples. We modify like biomonitor so that now it takes care of you. It's basically whenever you can heal and there's a need for you to heal, you're being damaged, it automatically uses your consumables, injector or inhaler, and it's super nice because you don't have to worry like about your health no, you have
Just
to worry about
accelerate,
health,
not-
but you don't have to
no
worry about
left and
healing.
right.
You have the
cannot
certainty
make the
that you know
car turn.
it will do
Unless
this
you
job
take
for you.
control
So if you're like
over
in
the
the
vehicle.
midst of battle and
Then
you know
you
you want
can
to just focus
freely
on shooting
drive
down the
whatever.
enemies, you can, and the health you don't have to be distracted by the health because the cyberware will basically be protecting you. And also cool because you don't have to. It's going to work under the hood, meaning that you don't have to like cancel the shooting to have the animation of healing yourself because it happens at the same time.
Nice. Okay, on the topic of cyberware, our community was actually wondering whether we would have different types of the same cyberware. So, for example, different types of mantis blades.
So yeah, this is still a thing. Different types of mantis blades would deal different types of damage, for example, electrical, chemical, and stuff like this. But from 2.0, we added way more to it. For example, there's different cyber decks that allow you rather not for specific effects, but rather allow you to attune it to a specific play style you want to have. So there's cyber deck that will play very well with stealth net running, and there's a cyber deck that will allow you to have more of the monowire combat enhanced for
Aggressive Sandevi stance, defensive Sandevi stance,
Yeah.
which it's really like
That's
a theme
true.
with many things where a particular cyberware or a group of cyberware, they do a similar thing when it comes to like their functionality, but they do it so differently that it's really up to you which one do you prefer most. And it's even really cool to basically switch them up from time to time while still building your character, growing from your perks and everything. But just mix this thing up as you go, because maybe you feel more comfortable with your build, maybe you learned or mastered the, let's say, I don't know, dash or any other like wrecking ball, and maybe you can swap
Cabby,
something.
thank you so
for
much
something
for your
else.
donation.
exactly
Thank
we
you,
wanted
thank you.
to even if you already make a decision that I want to have this
Thank
play
you for the
style.
hearts. Thank
Okay,
you
this
for
decision is made, but I
Much
still have
appreciated.
some options to choose from.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
still
All right, so we're gonna have a lot of cyberware to choose from. How about players that don't want to get implants? Is it even a viable playstyle?
So basically the rule of thumb here is we do not penalize player from having cyber at any point in the game. There is no effect that you would have because you have cyberware. Plus, I would rather say that we encourage you to have this cyberware because
Story, thank you so much.
maybe
Thank you.
armor itself isn't
Sempre,
the main
thank you so
reason here
much.
because you probably can't play
Thank you,
without
thank you.
armor for at
Much
least for
appreciated.
lower
Easy,
difficulties
yeah.
and for
I think up to hard, it's totally possible. It was actually one of the reasons why we also made the cyberware change. That players can like previously, players always had this armor with them because they were just picking it up from the clothes as they were playing the game. So at all times you had some kind of armor. Right now we fully support no armor playstyle up to, I think, hard difficulty.
Yeah.
On very hard it will be really challenging, I think.
exactly.
But this is like connected
It's a challenge.
to this question about the humanity. This is a very
No armor
powerful decision
playthrough?
in this world. You know, not installing the Chrome This is like the reverse of everybody is doing, which makes this choice even so much more like meaningful. So I think it's totally possible. You don't have to install it, and you'll do fine. But you need to know that the game will be significantly much more difficult.
I also think that if someone wants to roleplay as the purest
exactly.
human,
Yeah.
it's already a little bit impossible because you have
It's
some of the
tougher.
cyberware by default in Cyberpunk anyway.
Right, so we have another question from the community. So we've heard about the new relic perks adding new features to the Mantis Blade, the Mono Warrior, and the PLS. But what does it do for Gorilla Arms abusers like me?
Gorilla Arms abusers. I love this phrasing.
My kind of person.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot for Gorilla Arms abusers. In Relic Perk Tree, there's this really awesome perk that allows you to charge up your Gorilla Arms while fighting with them. And once charged up, you are able to perform this really powerful one-punch attack that basically deals massive damage to the enemy you're punching, plus
Shockwave.
has this shockwave that staggers nearby enemies and maybe knock them out with progression of this perk later on. And if you happen to kill the enemy with it, you basically
Which we will.
which you will, you basically turn this person into Neil Armstrong, and you send him to the moon. He never comes back. But there's a lot more to it in Relic Perk Tree.
Actually, the whole Relic Tree is all about cyberware.
Yeah.
From every single section, it's a really cyberware-oriented skill tree because it's related to the story and Songbird, and she's doing the stuff through the relic to basically enhance your cyberware. It's very powerful. It's very distinctive. You can go either on the offensive side with it, or on the defensive side with the.
Who's the guy in the corner?
Optical camo
The guy on the channel
perk. But my favorite one in Relic Perk Tree is about vulnerability analytics. It also plays this narration of connecting with cyberware, because technically you need Kiroshi to have it, but you have Kiroshi in the game anyway. But the way it works, it's basically the system analyzes the enemy for you and looks for some weak spots in the enemy, maybe broken cyberware or something in the enemy itself, and it shows it on the UI on the HUD overlay of the game, which is basically those red squares that you will be able to shoot. And it does not only deal massive damage to the enemy, but it also explodes while you hit it.
I
AoE
like
damage.
how they explode.
And it's an EMP damage, which can also be relevant against certain types of enemies.
Yes.
It's really cool. This one really took me by surprise, because I didn't really appreciate until I actually played it how sweetly it changes the way you play the game.
Yes.
You have like this flow of like doing the headshots, trying to shoot them, and now the moment the vulnerability appears, you have to make this little decision. Okay, should I switch it up, change my aim for the bigger payoff, depending on where the enemy is, how far he is, how damaged he is, and it constantly keeps you engaged, and like it's just very fun.
Yeah, it adds to even the choice of weapons, stuff like this. But
Oh yeah,
it's,
so true.
it's
Thank you
awesome.
for
So
It works with
donation,
melee
yes.
weapons as well. So
Exactly.
Chill out in
yeah.
chat a bit,
It's
guys. Come on.
maybe a little bit harder.
Update
but,
is almost
but,
out.
with
Come on.
melee,
I
but
don't know. It's just different.
yeah.
So it could work in basically almost any build.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's just repeat that the Relic Perk Tree is Phantom Liberty exclusive. So today you will
Of
not be
course.
able to play
Yes.
it, but soon.
In a few days.
In a way, yeah.
All right, so now we can sum up. And yeah, so guys, you have new cyberware coming. Some of the changes to cyberware, which, for example,
almost
one of
there,
them is
folks.
the capacity.
I think
So
10
make
more
sure,
minutes if it's not out
to check
somewhere.
your
I mean.
limits, check your skills, check your perks. If you can go further than that, if you want, go for the Edge Runner perk and see what it does.
Attributes
And
don't
you know,
reset
one of the
automatically, by
another
the way.
bigger changes, the armor
So
is
you
now
can
coming.
Hold up on that.
Not through cyberware. Well, through cyberware, sorry, not through the actual clothing.
Okay, so cyberware was a very big and very impactful topic, very visible in the game. But now let's talk about something less visible, but I think as important as that. So all of the balance changes and economy changes. So balance, we already talked a little bit about the changes to AI. Now maybe let's focus on economy. So I know that now we're gonna get a little bit less loot. There are some price changes. So can you talk a little bit more about the intent behind it?
Sure. I think that the first thing that players will notice is that there's generally less loot on the level, dropping
loot
from the enemies, and it was important for us so that player can like really focus, on the story and like not break this gameplay into two phases where you clear the encounter and then go around the encounter and you feel like the scavenger who's picking this stuff from all over the place.
Yeah, every time.
So the loot is more meaningful this time around, and
That it is.
clothes are no longer dropping from enemies. We didn't like this from the fantasy point of view. You're supposed to be merc. You choose your loadouts, your gear, how you look in this world. It shouldn't be some random chance. Plus, it just didn't feel right, to be picking up
basing your wardrobe from dead bodies.
That you just massacred with mantis blades or grenades and whatnot.
With holes inside.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
that's a very nice change, in my opinion. What else? Oh, and the coming back to the fact of being mercenary. You will notice that you get much more money from the rewards for doing the quests and the gigs and whatever the fixers are setting you up with. In this world, it really wouldn't make sense to risk lives in this extremely brutal environment if you weren't paid properly to afford the cyberware and weapons and other toys like cars, apartments, and
yes,
et
exactly.
cetera.
Plus, you can make it really tied to your specific character you want to be. Plus, vendors. One thing to mention here, they will also change up what they have in stock, so it's worth revisiting them from time to time. Different small thing we also worked on is how thematic the vendors are. Maybe vendor in city center would sell you more, silver substance, golden weapons, and the black market vendor would sell you illegal weapons, stuff like this. So that also plays along with this fantasy of deciding what is your gear, what is your clothing, who you are.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's
nice.
true
So
for clothing.
less loot, but I will be earning more eddies from gigs. That's pretty nice. So speaking of that, our community actually had a question about it. Like, how big will the new item loot pool be regarding weapons, cyberware, and mods?
Yeah, I think we shouldn't talk about numbers here probably. Obviously,
Give us a week.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
we
have
can
to count
count it.
them. Yeah, we have to count them. But I would say that let's answer this in a way that we obviously added a lot of items to the game, especially to Phantom Liberty expansion. But listen, we literally took every item in the game that was already there, redesigned it, rethinked it. As I mentioned, there's no stone unturned, so we probably should, from gameplay perspective, answer that every item in the game is a new one. So countless.
There isn't a single
Let me check if
cyberware
it's
which is
out.
the same. There isn't a single gun which is the same. Like all stats, all handling, grenades, inhalers, quick hacks, absolutely everything has been changed.
Wow, so basically all new loot pool for our
Plus
players.
a lot of new items that weren't in the game. Yeah.
Exactly. Obviously, let's clarify that does not
Branch is
mean
still
that
not
weapons,
updated
all
on
weapons
Steam.
will have new models, stuff like that.
No.
We're talking
can
about
just
the
see
game
it, like, on
perspective.
SteamDB,
here,
basically.
yeah.
Okay, so while we are on the gameplay perspective, what about crafting and upgrading items? Because I know this is like a very hot topic within our community. Like, where did the crafting go? What's happening?
It's there. It's there.
So crafting is still very much a thing. Actually, I was maybe even say it's more of a thing because it's not like tied to the tech tree, at least not directly. Meaning everybody can craft craft weapons or upgrade iconics or upgrade even cyberware. This is the new addition that we've added. In tech tree, there'll be perks that will make the upgrading process maybe simpler, easier, because you will have more components, you'll have more choices when it comes to upgrading. So what do you want to upgrade into, for instance, the cyberware? But as a baseline, everybody can do the upgrading and crafting. and it's just a matter of how do you want to, be involved in this loop. The cool part is that you'll be finding some extremely powerful recipes in the loot. So this will also probably play a factor whether you'll be engaging in this and how you'll be engaging in this.
Exactly. We didn't want to introduce this bottlenecks into the system, so we wanted every possible playstyle to have an option to use this super powerful tool, which is crafting and upgrading. I know, Alicia, you asked me previously, why did you change this?
Yeah, because I went into full tech tree just to be able to craft legendaries. My legendary Overwatch I love it.
I'm glad that's removed.
You'll be able to do it still. You'll get your points back, and if you choose to go back to tech, there's there are some big payoffs at level 20. So I think
okay, I will check it out. Maybe Netrunner, maybe techie. We'll see.
One thing to mention here is that components that you use in crafting and upgrading, they are not purchasable. You'll have to find them in loot. So guys, good luck in airdrops.
yeah. But this makes them so much more exciting, and you're happy when you get them. Also the whole upgrading is streamlined so that you only need a single type of component to upgrade, which it's like a nice quality of life change for the people.
And we are talking about the upgrading. I think what's worth mentioning here that we replaced the old rarity levels with new ones, right? Can we maybe explain
3
it
minutes
more?
With tiers.
With tiers.
Yeah. So currently they're called tiers. Basically, every couple of levels, player will advance to a new tier. It doesn't happen it's not like a hard cutoff point where suddenly you are on the next tier. It's just the items from the next tier will become available, both from the loot, from enemies and chests, containers, etc., and also at vendors.
Let me see.
With each new tier, new types of items are introduced. New weapons, new cyberware, quick hacks, and other things. So this is a big change, definitely. We changed it primarily to allow players to play with their weapons for as long as they want. Previously, weapons were scaling with each level. Their damage was scaling with each level, and players were when they saw a new gun that had this green arrow, up arrow on it, they were often just switching it up, and we didn't like how it was controlling the way you play instead of giving you the freedom to role play your character. So if you really care about using pistols, like me, I really didn't like this moment when suddenly having a shotgun dropped makes me
I doubt it's coming out at 5-0-0.
This fear of missing out was just too powerful.
Exactly, and this is also a theme in a lot of changes that we are talking about today. We looked at our systems and we found all the places that instead of introducing choice, we are deciding and respecting this choice and having an actual decision-making left for the player. We felt like we are making this decision for them. So here, obviously, this is something that we really wanted to put emphasis on. But with those loop changes, with tier changes, that does not mean that the leveling up does not mean anything for the weapon system, because
5,000 people
with
here. Wow.
higher levels, better weapons will be dropped from loot.
Thank you for being here.
So this is also something that will play along. Plus, with loot, vendors will change their stock, for example. So it's worth revisiting different vendors in the night.
Look at these prices.
So from time to time, you'll see the next tier loot in there, and if it matches your playstyle, it's definitely something worth consider to get.
I already spent 3 million on cars.
I think that the biggest change is that player has this time, where he can really appreciate the weapon he's having, have fun with it, check it out, and not worry that there's this next gun that will take this away from me. And it really completely changed the dynamic of how you're building your character and how much you can role play it. So this was, I think, the biggest one.
And with upgrading, the gun can grow together with the player.
Yes, however, we are no longer upgrading guns themselves. You can upgrade iconics, but not the guns.
Okay.
Iconic weapons.
Iconic
yeah.
weapons, yeah, of course. Cyberware as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we have some changes when it comes to the stamina. So what can you tell us about that?
So first and foremost, with stamina, the biggest the thing we wanted to achieve here is give player ability to move around the night city freely without being annoyed that the stamina is running out when you are sprinting, for example, from quest to quest. So
It's
those
out.
movement verbs no longer use
Public
stamina
1
that
minute
is
ago on
sprinting,
Steam.
jumping. Obviously, some of the movement verbs
You
that are
should
more
be getting a download, yeah.
combat
You
related,
should be
like
getting
the
a
crouch
download.
sprint we mentioned, or
Let's go.
dashes,
Dashes.
stuff like this. Also, will use stamina, but the general idea behind it
It's
is
out.
that the mobility
Yeah,
of
now
player
it's
is
out.
not
I can see it's out.
being controlled by stamina resource. But stamina resource from now on will depend on the recoil of the weapon. So shooting shooting the gun will drain the stamina resource. But a very important message we would like
You
to
did
put
it. You
here is
survived
that
until 2.0.
it does not mean that we are introducing this recoil mechanic to the game. It does not mean that the weapon handling will be worse. It's the opposite. This recoil mechanic was already in the game. It was behind
It should be starting
behind
on
the
Steam
curtain
very
for
soon
the,
because the
we
public
were
branch
controlling
is
it
out.
fully,
Like,
but
on
again,
SteamDB it
as
says
with a lot
public
of
branch
changes that we
release
did,
1
could
minute
feel it
ago,
somehow,
so
you know, through how the weapon
maybe
behaves, how
start
the
Steam or
reticle
something,
is shaping up,
but it should
etc. But it was very obscured.
exactly, it differed from weapon to weapon, but as with many changes that we are discussing today, we wanted to take away this decision from us and give it to the player. So stamina resource is a perfect way to do it. We decided that from now on, this behind the scenes system will be controllable by player, and by adding it to the stamina
2 minutes ago.
by combining it
For
with stamina
Cyberpunk.
resource, we were able to put a lot of decisions for the player. You are now able to modify how your stamina is behaving with perks, with the different
Cyberware.
abilities, cyberware,
Yeah.
Modifications on weapons, a lot of stuff. And
Even like just watching your stamina as you should, and like comparing the behavior of the weapon, the aim that you can get, you know, on high level of stamina versus no stamina, it's very different. And then different
Yeah.
weapons use stamina also differently, which allowed us for the weapons to be much more. How to say, like farther apart, more unique, and have their own characteristic. They had the characteristic. Don't get me wrong. Previously, we're just doubling down on this.
exactly, and maybe there's a lot to
25
maybe
gigs on
affect
Steam.
this
That's good.
Yes.
handling from the player perspective rather
And
than
it's clear.
accepting it. Yeah.
It's clear. You can like see it, and you can expect what happens, because by the way stamina works as you should, you see the difference. Like it's really noticeable, especially for certain weapons, which is also cool, because if this is not something for you, which where we enjoy those very accurate weapons like sniper rifles or pistols, there are definitely weapons which are like softer on the stamina, and you know, it's like their theme.
Yeah, plus it plays along really well with what Philip was
Yeah, especially
describing
that
before, which is
stamina
the
can
tiers
be
system.
a little bit
Because
problematic for shooting
because
from
of
the
the
hip.
tier system
That's
got
true.
reworked, you are able to stick with one weapon for a bit longer now. That means one of the things you will notice a lot is that you will be able to actually play around with this recoil and stamina system, and maybe find a weapon that actually suits your how fun it is to shoot, how fun it is to play with it, rather than, you know, what's the damage on
Yeah, and
the
also like the distance, you know, that depending on what distance you're playing, you know, it also is a big factor how you look at those things. And one important thing to add, probably we should have told about it earlier, is that weapon tooltips, where you will no longer see this DPS, big DPS number, which was pretty much defining the weapon as it is.
Arrow up or down.
Yes,
Exactly.
but instead you'll see a set of like bars about like the damage of the weapon, like single damage of the weapon, rate of fire, handling, and some other
I
stuff.
think reload speed as well.
Distance, and you should be basically looking at it,
54 on
and
GOG,
this will give you some
wow,
glimpse
okay.
of what to expect from the weapon, whether it fits. But then
Classic
you should just
GOG.
try it out and see if it's your thing or not.
Classic
Yeah, that's a lot
GOG.
of changes. I mean, that's why I've been going into crafting, because I could keep my weapons
Yes,
for
exactly,
longer. So
exactly.
I'm happy that it's now available available for all
Yeah,
players.
these
Yes,
updates.
this is basically what we wanted to achieve on the global level without the need to like maintain your
Okay, this
weapon
is
with the
getting
crafting.
Yeah.
It's still a thing, definitely. So for those of you who have your beloved iconic, you'll be definitely be able to like maintain it and master it.
Okay.
And upgrade
Okay,
it.
moving on to other types of weapons, we haven't really touched upon the smart weapons. I know that they are now connected with the intelligence attribute. So what else can you tell us about that?
So with smart weapons, yeah, this is another awesome change. I
One of my
really
favorites.
love, yeah, one of my favorites in terms of weapons. What we changed is how the target locking works on smart weapons. That's the biggest change we focused on, and in terms of smart weapons, the way it used to work, when you were aiming with your smart weapon, a lot of targets on one singular enemy were chosen, and while shooting, the bullets went to those targets. And currently, it's reworked in a way that first of all, we added a time
Lock on time.
Lock on time, so it's not
Tech 3
instantaneous.
is good.
And
It's
I'll
decent.
touch on that in a second. But second big thing we added is that from now on, the target on singular enemy that is chosen by smart weapon is just one singular target. So if you are shooting from hip, it will be usually torso. But if you are ADSing, this will usually be but basically it will be the best possible spot on enemy's body to shoot it. It could be a head, but with vulnerability analytics, it could be this weak spot on the enemy, or maybe there's something more to it. There's some I don't know, broken cyber inside of the enemy or something that will be chosen with the smart weapon for you. And as I said, we added this locking time to it, and this allows us to add a lot of synergies between perks
And depth.
and depth to like player choice. Player progression of smart
true.
weapon play
Cyber
style rather
perks
than
and
singular
weapons.
smart
It really
weapon.
works
And even
together
like choosing
now.
which smart weapon you want to use, because the differences between smart weapons are like they've never been as big as right now. They vary in like the shape and the size of the reticle. So how easy it is to lock target, to get it into your frame, but also like the distance, the speed of how quickly they are locking on the target. Again, even though smart weapons are in the intelligence tree and they fully synergizes with the Netrunner playstyle, you can totally use smart weapons as like the fast reflexes character who is like zooming around the battlefield, doing a lot of 180s, in a very agile manner, and like pick a smart weapon that basically can catch up with you while you're doing all of this cool stuff. Versus, for instance, if you're a body character, which is like slower but sturdier, maybe then a different set of smart weapons could be a thing for you, and it's like totally supported.
Yeah, basically, from
Maybe I'll use them
top-down
now.
smart weapons
I don't use smart weapons all that
require
much, to be
less
honest.
aiming skills, and maybe
But this
to be
definitely-
more efficient with them, you actually have to spend a little bit more time planning ahead what I will do with this weapon. So it plays along with this fantasy of who would use this smart weapon. Probably a person that actually sits down, opens perks, reads descriptions, plans out modifications, stuff like this. So basically, we made smart weapons actually smart.
Yeah, but that for sure. Talking about the being smarter, you can now, for instance, lock onto a target while actually losing the line of sight. So you can go around the corner and like still maintain shooting at them. And even though you don't see the character on your character, as long as it's locked, a smart weapon will find its target, and it's really amazing feeling. Super powerful, like in the fantasy of a Netrunner, someone who can shoot your enemies from behind covers, behind corners.
Yeah.
Okay, guys,
That's
so
true.
really cool smart weapons, smarter weapons. How about another thing? How about ammo? I know that we have changed something in terms of ammunition for different types of weapons.
The main thing in ammunition, or rather one of the things we changed, is from now on SMGs will no longer will use, or rather SMGs will use pistol ammo. It seems like a small thing, but it has huge consequences for the player, because we were able to introduce this subtree in the reflexes perk tree that allows you to progress both SMGs and assault rifles. So the fact that SMGs use a different resource from now on than assault rifles, because rifles will use rifle ammo and SMGs will use pistol ammo, allowed us to introduce this type of a playstyle that I am efficient with two types of weapon, but they use different type of resource. So while shooting SMGs, I'm not running out of ammo for assault rifle that I have in my backpack, and I want to switch right away. So in general, this is something that plays along with
I still lose
with a lot of changes that we did.
Amount of ammo
this decision from player that actually makes sense right now. And with ammo in general, it's way more generous from now on.
Oh yeah,
That's
Yeah.
true. You
have
lose
much more ammo available to you, and so it drops more often, but also you have like more capacity.
You can
of
craft
your
it
ammo.
as well.
Yeah, you could craft it, but you can still craft it. It's cheap and accessible, so there shouldn't be
and
any
I
problem
still run
with
out
this.
of it.
It's a funny thing with the ammo, because it really the moment where it like struck us that okay, we need to increase the ammo capacity was when we were watching Gabe, our game director, playing the game, and he was like a huge fan of vehicle combat, and we were watching him, basically driving around the city and like wrecking mayhem with the encounters and police and whatnot, civilians everywhere. He was basically like full auto spraying all the time and getting out of ammo. And like, okay, yeah, we need to increase this.
That sounds like Gabe.
Yeah, it's very Gabe.
Quoting him, he likes to do that.
All right, so
Bullets.
last but not least, I know our community already spotted that in our
But it's
gameplay
not out on
materials,
Xbox,
but
maybe
this
restart
is something
it? I
that
don't know.
we've also wondered when we were playing the game. Changes to inhalers,
I
grenades,
can't play after the
injectors.
stream because
What can we say
I'll
about that?
explain
Quite a
after
lot.
they're done.
Yeah, it's a big one because it
specific
seems
reason.
like a small change, but this is actually one of the first things that we did when we were switching to 2.0, because this is the thing that allowed us to basically took a completely different approach to balancing the game. Now, previously with players sometimes having 3 of the inhalers in their backpack, some players having 600 of them, it was really impossible to balance the game and knowing like what is the difficulty of any given encounter, because it was just so much different depending on the player. And second of all, we didn't like the fact that whether you win the encounter or not often depends on how quickly you just press the D-pad button and heal yourself. It shouldn't be about this. Instead, it's much more about like tactics and thinking, when to use it, but also be aware of the limit that you have. And since it's a charge-based system right now, at all times you know how much of the inhalers you have. You don't have to remember it, for instance. And on top of it, they become
better
much more
now.
powerful.
That's better.
So you won't be needing to like a couple of whiffs, to top up. And allowed us to invest into it from the cyberware and perks alike. For people who like enjoy this and like want to have this backup, there's definitely a lot of stuff that you can play with, which even increases like the decision making on like when do I want to use it, because maybe it increases the recharge rate or how much I heal.
Exactly. Plus, maybe I'll repeat myself, but it is really important for us that the fact that you were able to actually have 600 inhalers in your backpack took away the decision of do I want to heal or not, because the answer was always yes. If I have an infinite amount of them from technical point of view at that point, why not heal? I can heal ahead. I can just learn to heal every 2 seconds, and this is my playstyle now. This is something that we really wanted to be a conscious decision that hey, I need to take those 2 guys out, then focus on elite. Probably I'll have to hide out and heal myself.
Maybe then do the reload.
Yes, so then I will have to wait for first the recharge of my healing item, so I'll be able to hack, whatever. Stuff like this that actually have like conscious decisions during the combat were super important for us throughout all changes.
Yeah, and with this one, it's really hard to overestimate like the profoundness of this change, because it really allowed us to look differently at the balance of the game. And I really it did so much good for the game in general, like where you wouldn't expect it, like for the boss fights, for those encounters. It was we were like the process of like balancing this took us like 9 or 10 months. We
My God.
really were very invested in this change, and
Sheesh.
we stand by it.
Plus, we wanted
it's
to
visible.
actually
Like, yeah,
something
the
we mentioned
overhaul is
before with
visible.
AI, but we wanted to
Yeah, 9 months for
for
balancing.
different difficulty levels to be
Yeah.
actually different, and this infinite healing ability was just removing many options from us. But from now on, the healing in general is fully synergized with perks. You can fine tune it to however you want to play. Plus grenades, obviously, it's not only about healing, it's also grenades, because it changes up how many grenades you can throw, how fast they will recharge.
And every
stuff
throw
like this.
counts.
Every throw counts. Obviously, we probably should mention
There are perks
as
for
with
that.
a lot of things, we also reward
For grenades. If
in
you wanna
general.
just go throw
stuff
grenades
that
around.
maybe we touched on explosion ranges, on damage themselves of grenades themselves, but even we introduced a lot more synergies to different playstyles of using grenades with something else. Like for example, my favorite thing to do is throwing a recon grenade into a group of enemies,
Oh yeah,
switching to my smart rifle, and the locking time, because
it's instant.
not instant, but
it's almost
way
instant.
faster.
Yeah, it's like almost instant.
Yeah,
It's super cool combo, and we have like a lot of things like this. Thanks to the charges, we can every single of those items can be more powerful. But at the same time, some people really enjoyed like the fact that they could like heal all the time, and still with the proper perks, with the proper cyberware. You can get this feeling where this is
really a
always
problem
available
now.
to you. It's just a choice right now
Yeah.
rather than a baseline.
All right. Cool. So now let's go quickly over some changes to the UI that I know that a lot of our community will be excited for. First of all, the minimap. We already, a couple of patches ago, we already made it zoom out when you go into the car or into the motorbike, but now we're adding even more changes, right?
Yes.
So with Minimap, the main thing we focused on is making it way more clear, decluttering it, making it consistent throughout the whole
Gameplay.
any situation, be it combat or outside of combat.
Yeah,
One of the
that's
things
true. Finally,
you'll
the map, the
notice
minimap
right away is the cones
better.
on Minimap. From now on, the moment you see
And
a cone,
zoomed out a bit more.
only means the fact that this enemy will react to you in some negative way, be it starting combat right when it spots you, or just reprimanding you. But the cone always means that this enemy will react to me somehow, or even we really focus on the police system and how cones actually mean that if I hide in this corner there, how the vision of the police will be there. Like will they notice me? Will they
Yes.
not?
It's very clear right now. Also, red dots, for instance, red dot means this NPC character knows about you. They will be looking for you. They consider
Pretty standard,
to be in combat
like
with you,
before.
and it's consistent. Like whether you're in an encounter, in a quest, or in open world activity with prevention system and whatnot.
Okay, but on top of that, we also have that it zooms out gradually.
Yeah, dynamically. So basically the
more
minimap zoom
gameplay.
out is dynamic, and it adjusts to your speed of your car. Also, with when the prevention system is active, the zoom out is also different to show you like where the police is coming from. This is a very important change. It allowed us to be to have a much deeper and more engaging gameplay loop in there in general.
Yeah.
And big kudos to our programmers, because this was not an easy change for us to do. We basically had to rewrite the whole streaming system for the minimap. We didn't even know whether it's possible,
hope
but
this
we just
music
knew
is
that
from
it's super
CDPR, the
important,
background.
and we went for it, and
YouTube does not
it's great.
like this.
It worked like a charm. So big kudos to the programming team.
Super cool that we're changing it. I know that our community will be thankful for that
For sure, for sure.
And another thing that they're gonna appreciate for sure, because I know I appreciate that, is the change to phone UI.
From now on, we wanted
Yes.
basically player to be more in these shoes rather than
It's
opening
better.
the big overlay on the screen every time they want to access their weapon. So from now on, you have an option to see the phone in the HUD in the game instead of opening the whole overlay on the whole screen too.
Yeah, and I think there are like different tabs
Tabs,
that
yeah.
unread is being shown at the very top. So it has a better feeling of an actual phone right now,
it's,
in my
it's much
opinion.
more intuitive, and the flow is
Yeah.
just definitely much
Yeah,
better.
it actually
And it's
does
nicer
look
to
like a
at
phone.
as well.
Yeah, for sure. So that's also something that
Plus
I
it's
know a lot of
alphabetical
people
when
were
it comes to
waiting
names.
for the new phone
Finally.
UI.
Yeah, you use it quite a lot in our game.
Yes, yes.
Messages from Pana.
But you know, we've been talking also a lot about cyberware, but the entire UI screen of cyberware, both in the journal that you call, or also at the reproduct, that also changes. Can you talk about it, about different elements of that?
Yeah, sure. So basically the whole panel is new.
Yes.
The loadout is still there, but where the categories are, the paper doll in the middle is completely new. It's beautiful. Like when you zoom out on the specific categories, you see the cyberware that's being installed. It looks sick. It's really something to gaze upon. On top of it, you'll see that on the left-hand side you have the cyberware capacity, which tells you basically where you are in terms of this resource. Each tooltip for the cyberware has also been changed.
Phone is
You'll
better.
be
It's
able to see
basically like a
dynamically
smaller
when you
part of the
install
screen,
or
but
when
it
you
still
swap
freezes
out certain
time when you
cyberware,
open it, so-
how much more capacity
But
or
it's
less
just
capacity
smaller
it's
in
gonna
front
cost,
of you
because
this time.
it's important, because sometimes you'll find yourself where you wanna uninstall like 3 or 4 cyberwares just to get this one particular
Yeah.
one. And same goes for armor. So whenever you're installing cyberware with armor on it, you'll see
B,
where
I
you will
cannot
end up
control every
being,
single person
and
here.
you
Like,
also
don't
have
read the
information
chat
like
if you have
what's the
problem with
general,
trolls. I don't know what to tell you, my friend.
defensiveness going to be.
Plus, we worked a lot on how the perk tree looks like in terms of UI, because it may sound like a small thing, but for us it's a huge topic of how logical the sub branches of the tree are. What are from now on you actually, when you spec into something, it will be reflected in the tree. I have this left branch of reflexes. It means something actually for you, for your character, for your playstyle.
With the
Yeah.
perks, it's also important because you can plan your character
Okay,
much
smile.
easier. From the get-go, you know where this is leading to.
Chill out.
And you can get excited about this stuff or this stuff. You know that, okay, I care about this up to this point, and then I want to invest somewhere else. Actually. And as those like trees grow, it's really a cool thing, seeing what's highlighted, what's not highlighted, and like just the shape of the tree tells you so much about who you are in this world. And it's a magnificent, amazing world by our UI designers.
I think speaking about the perk trees, we can remind people that they can reset their attributes once,
Yes.
and perks anytime they want, and they can do it one by one, right?
Yes,
Yes.
but important thing to mention, you can only reset attributes once.
Yes.
Even if you didn't have save before, we allow it for it to happen only once. And that maybe let's quickly talk about why we did this. From our perspective, as you probably heard today quite a few times, we wanted the decisions about your character, who you are in the game, your playstyle, to actually matter, and this has to be a conscious decision. So from our perspective, if you spec into specific attributes like body or whatever, it builds your character's identity, and we didn't want for our players to be able to change it because they earn some eddies and they can change who they are. It doesn't really work like this. You can do it once, but basically the attributes are something that really connects with the player with the character. So we wanted for it to be super conscious and important. But that being said, the perk themselves can be refunded at any point.
And you can do this one by one, which is a very cool change.
Yeah, right.
We actually had this,
Unlearn the
for
perk
debug purposes for ourselves, and we just liked it so much that we decided to give it to players, because why not? And you don't need to do the whole revamp to basically end up with the same build, except a couple of ones. You can, try it out. If you don't like it, check something else, and the flow is superb.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. And also a little reminder that we have this build planner, our online build planner. So if you are afraid to commit to some build in game, you can check it out on the website, build something for your character, and see see if maybe it will work with the points, with the perks, etc.
I mean, you can do it in the
feel free
game
to check
now.
out the build planner.
For sure.
Better than in
But
Build
also,
planner, but
Journal. There's
Journal.
a big change. I love it.
Yeah, with journal, I love the fact that
Whoa,
from now on,
these
you
are
obviously that one of the things
spoilers
that I really anticipate that you can
journal.
untrack
Okay.
quests. Yes.
Finally, you don't have to be reminded about going to Hanako every second.
But there's a lot more to it. In general, we work the visuals of it, but
It's much nicer.
it's much nicer, way
Yeah.
Much more cleaner.
Yeah. But there are some fun stuff to discover there. For example, when you look into a quest description, there are some contextual actions you can take. For example, read the text message that is like
Connected
connected
to the
this.
phone, yeah.
Yeah, some shards maybe that are there. Even the filtering of quests by distance or the time of update.
It's much more useful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, distance is nice, so I know where should I go first, basically.
If you want to like optimize it by distance, absolutely.
Yeah, also, if you want to
Yeah,
reset
okay.
attributes
So
and
pretty
you
much that would be it
do a hard
when it
save
comes
every
to all
time
the
before you
changes
like
that
do
we
a
wanted
reset of
to
attributes,
talk.
because you can do them once.
But we have one
So if you
more
make a
surprise
mistake,
for our
just
community,
load
which is
save.
the new mini game called Trauma Drama. So you know,
yeah.
make sure that you find the right machine and you just check it out
Yeah,
and you know
can
see
finally
how it
talk
goes
about
and
this.
see you on the leaderboard score.
Finally.
You
they-
guys watch out because
amazing.
this is addicting.
And it's a bit more difficult than the Roach one,
Yeah, a
at
little
least for
bit.
me. But yeah, it's very
If
more
whoever
complex
played
a
Metal
little.
Slug,
I love the naming
It's
because
Metal Slug,
we
the
actually-
game.
one of our gameplay teams is called the Trauma
it's
team.
amazing.
And there's a lot of drama. Total coincidence, though.
Yeah, we did not suggest it.
Okay, so we can now move to the Q&A session. Those will be questions from our community that they dropped them on our forums and Discord. So without further ado, let's go. So the first question, about designing the gameplay of our character by the skills and perks, will we be able to reach
I
more
played
diverse
this for like an
gameplay?
hour yesterday, dude.
Oh wow,
Huge question. This was
a
good.
big one. You know,
Yeah,
before we
basically,
decided
reminded
we
me a
wanna
lot
do
about
the
Metal
whole
Slug.
perk rework, one of the first things, we didn't have like a single
have the
perk at
boss
that point
fight.
yet. We knew that
Crazy.
we wanted to at the end achieve at least one thing, that with the perks there won't be like one go-to or two or three go-to builds. Like we recently released the new Night City Wire, we present three builds. Those are just three out of many builds. We wanted all the trees to be able to combine with each other, to find some kind of synergies between them. And I remember it was one of the most rewarding maybe times when around like 2 or 3 months ago we were, you know, before like locking things down, checking whether you know it's still there, you know. And I was worried that we didn't get it for like the body and hull combination, that it's not working, and maybe we can switch it up somehow. And it turned out that it's actually one of the most powerful builds that we have in the game. I just didn't see the connection, you know, myself, but a couple of gameplay designers, you know, told me that, you know, it's extremely powerful. I won't be saying like what it is, not to, you know, this should be like the discovery for the player, but yeah, versatility is definitely there. You can go like all into a particular tree, it's gonna be great. You can do like a combination of 2 or 3, it's gonna be great. Or you can even be like a jack of all trades and go into every single tier, every single tree, maybe not as deep, but you will have answers to like all the situations, and you'll be an extremely versatile character. I think that even the one of the coolest perks we have is not the big milestone, but there's this one secondary perk that allows you to get a +4 capacity points for each attribute above level 9.
Yeah.
And this is such a build enabler. So there are a lot of things where player can find themselves in those.
Plus with verbs that player can use alone, you know, you can throw bodies, deflect
Oh, yeah.
bullets.
Yeah, you don't have to reinstall the
hack
game.
cars, you know.
Do
like,
not reinstall the
dashes,
game. Do not
dashes
factory
are
dash
dashes.
anything.
Yeah, there's
And
so
there's
much
dashes,
to it.
there's dashes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's,
Wait for the
that's also
update.
the thing, that
If it's not out
the builds
that
are much
platform.
more distinctive. They're much farther
Don't reset
apart from
anything,
each other,
it
and
doesn't work that
you
way.
have a completely different playstyle depending on what you pick and how much you invest into it.
Okay, so the next question is connected to perks actually. Do we have to start a new game for the new perks, or will they be available to existing level 50 maxed out players?
Oh, they're available to everybody.
Yeah, you'll have to reassign the points that you, because basically the moment you install 2.0, you'll
Uninstall
have to go
Select
to your perk trees
again.
and you will get the amount of attribute and perk points to what you had before.
Yeah.
And you'll have to reassign it. So hopefully you are prepared with the build planner already.
Yeah, guys, if
Yeah.
you know, if you start the game, you have to spend like, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours just creating
Just
your
like
build.
character
true.
customization all over again. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
but from gameplay
Yeah,
perspective.
a lot of time is gonna be on
with
just
this,
perks and
question, you know,
cyberware.
I'd really like to also encourage people trying out the game from the get-go, because the leveling curve is totally different, and not only the speed at which you gain levels is different, but even much more importantly, how quickly you get access to those build-defining abilities verbs is also much shorter. So it's not like you'll have to wait long for getting the cool stuff. Absolutely not. And you'll constantly have something cool to look at, to strive. Like it's going to be either the cyberware that you care about, or the
Hey,
perks,
1,000
or the
likes.
combination of the two.
Thank you.
And
Thanks
it's
so
just
much.
all the encounters, even in the boss fights, they'll also play differently. So I really encourage you to play the game fresh. It's going to be a different game for you because you'll be someone different, maybe more defined in the story as you're
Minigame is
playing.
trauma
this.
drama.
But obviously,
An arcade
I know
game,
that you
just
know
like
we have those
Road
players
Race.
who love their characters. You know they spend so
You'll
many
find it
hours
throughout
into
Night
those.
City and
Absolutely,
Dogtown.
we support just loading the save and having fun already at like the maximum level.
Let's uninstall Windows to
Okay.
run the update.
Will the relic perk skills cause any negative side effects to the player?
With simple answer is no. There are
No,
no
yeah.
perks in the relic tree that would have any negative effect. In general, with our perks and verbs, we tried not to introduce any penalty. We decided not to introduce any penalties for the player. There are small exceptions to this rule. For example, the Edge Runner perk that will make you introduce that
Reduce your
decision. It can reduce your health if you decide to go into it, or the overclock mechanic that will
Oh,
use
by
your
the way,
health
hold
once you run out of
B
RAM. But
or whatever
as
other
you probably
button,
see,
if you hold
all
it,
of those
it does
situations
the
are
first
a
equip
conscious
animation
decision by player.
when you
There
put
are
out the
no
weapon. So just hold
situations
the
in which something
B
will
or
happen to
triangle
you
on
passively.
controller or
They are
Y
always
on Xbox
led,
controller.
led by
if you
the
hold it,
decision of
it does the
you.
animation.
And again, Relic Perk Tree, Phantom Liberty exclusive, so not yet there, but yes.
Okay.
not yet.
Okay, but connected to Relic Perk Tree, we actually have a question whether the perks from Relic Tree will be usable outside Dogtown.
Yes, so
Those are yours.
those are yours. You have to be able to access Dogtown to use Relic Tree,
Yeah.
Perk Tree because of Phantom Liberty, but once you have it, you can use it anywhere.
Maybe one misconception is that in order to level up your relic skill tree, you need to have access to those like data points in the in Dogtown, and this is slightly different mechanic or maybe it's just a different dynamic to how you level up. And we really encourage people to explore the environment, find those spots. They're a little bit hidden, but at the same time they are luring you in a way. I don't want to spoil anything. In order to progress, you need to be in Dogtown, but you can use them whenever you want.
But
whatever
luckily,
you want.
after my last playthrough, I noticed that I actually missed some of those, and after you already discover them and miss it, just like I did, they are on minimap. They are visible on minimap,
okay,
so
that's
you can come back to them.
There is
don't
no
have
way
to,
you're gonna
worry
be
about
missing
it.
those
Yes.
Militech terminals. So no way.
Okay, so the next question. Will we be able to use those new melee finishers while sneaking up on an enemy?
So this one is
I'm
a little
getting
bit tricky to
hungry.
answer because first of all, those finishers work only if
I
the
gotta eat
enemy
soon, man.
is already on low health. So technically, there are some situations in which you can probably damage enemies to low health, run away, wait for them to dispatch you, and try to use, for example, some stealth
let me see the
abilities like
numbers.
optical camo, go in and try
Yeah,
to
32,000
perform a
Reset
people
the fight and
who
go
downloaded.
again. But probably it's not like the most efficient way to
Yeah,
play the game.
probably not.
Yeah, not worth it. Plus, on higher difficulties, they will just heal.
Yeah.
But there are more better ways to do it. Like for example, the ninjutsu perk, which allows you to crouch sprint to an enemy, grab him, and
finisher
kill
on this
him
build.
like this. Plus, with finisher, I think we didn't mention is You are now able to use those finishes on throwable knives plus
Those are
mono
the
wire.
best.
Yeah, and throwing knives, we kind of skipped it in this discussion, but really
Due to lack of time, but check it out.
check it out. They have their own sub tree in the perk tree. We know you love them. We love them a lot.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they
yeah.
are
One
really
of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
You will see probably a lot of videos now.
hopefully.
But that's a
They're
very cool deal.
They are very graphic.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so now we're moving on to vehicle combat. Does the choice of vehicle matters? Like, is it okay if I go into vehicle combat with my Mai, or should I pick something bigger?
Definitely. Like this couldn't be. Actually, it's like super realistic because it's all physics based. If you have a car which is like sturdy with small windows, you will be. It's going to be very difficult for the enemies to shoot you. If you're driving in a small car, like the opposite. If the door pops off, suddenly you become more vulnerable, but not in general, but only if the enemies are from that side. So this is very natural. I love this actually, even though I have to at first I was against it, but then I played it and it's like it's the best.
Exactly.
So you have those like little decisions. How do I position myself against enemies using this? And there's just so much to it. Like the weaponized guns. Whether you pick a car with Gatling guns or rocket launchers. It's a completely different story.
Plus, cars in general have different health pools, so bigger, tougher vehicles have more health than a sports car, let's say.
Bigger tires, smaller tires.
Yeah, and even how they react to collisions, stuff like this. So there's a lot to it. By the way, car combat and those topics, huge kudos to
Vancouver team, yeah.
Vancouver, like North America plus Europe work together on those changes. So like big kudos because those are really this is a different game in terms of cars.
They keep showing
handling of
Phantom
cars is
Liberty a lot,
completely
even though
different.
this is
Every
like
single car
specifically
was
for
touched.
2.0.
One thing I'll
Might
quickly
confuse some
mention here is
people.
that it also matters what type of vehicle your enemies use in terms of
Oh,
AI
yes.
because they could have some exposed tires, for example. You shoot them and the tires explode, they start panicking, and it's whole new rampage fun.
You can destroy the fuel ports, and they're like each car has their own fuel port, which is like in different place. So you need to learn where they are. But if you do, and you are able to actually shoot it, there's a big payoff.
So a lot to what you like.
So much strategy
yeah.
goes into
Yeah.
that
That like
combat.
you need to know which car the police is bringing, because when they'll be trying to crash into you, it's gonna be a different thing when they come in like the Hala, or whether they come in some kind of SUV, or maybe even the heavily armored combat vehicle. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's huge, and you don't want to smash into this thing.
Okay. Is the vehicle combat reserved for specific cars only? And what about motorcycles?
It's not reserved for specific cars, and you can use it on motorcycles. But on motorcycles, there's way more to it because we added a melee combat to motorcycles, which is so awesome. It's you can role play as this samurai on a motor that you just drive to an enemy, slice them up. Damage of the katana, for example, scales with speed, which is like if you actually want to just drive by and slice someone, it's totally.
It's not easy, but it's
Yeah.
super fun.
It's not easy but fun, and also a lot of melee verbs work on motorcycle combat with melee. For example, you can deflect bullets, you can block upcoming shots. Also in car combat in general, you can use Sandevistan, for example, in cars, stuff like this. So yeah, it's melee combat on motorcycles. Check it out.
Yeah, and you can use either pistols or SMGs. This is the new addition, which is very cool for those like drive-bys and like just shooting,
assault
shooting down
rifles
some
through the
goons.
vehicle.
And a couple of cars just have built-in guns.
That's gonna be awesome.
Check out Javelina.
Okay,
That
so
one
I
should
have the
have it.
next question. Can you just play expansion quest without playing through the main quest line like in The Witcher?
Yes.
Yes.
Like standalone expansion.
Yes,
Okay.
we leave with this choice. It's similar to Witcher. You can either play from base game fully to Phantom Liberty expansion, or if you decide to, you can play right away from Phantom Liberty. We just simulate the base game for you. The choices that lead to the Act 2 in Pacifica after you meet with Placide, after you meet with Brigitte and Alt, then Phantom Liberty expansion starts.
Yeah, and you start at level 15. You will have a quite versatile all-around build. So it's nothing like very specific. It should like fit everybody, but it's definitely playable. You don't have
Yeah,
to
do
like
not
respect the
reinstall
perks
the game, my God.
immediately. You can play around, see what works for you, what doesn't. Even invest from this build farther down the line, or just switch it up to whatever you want at any point.
All right. So the next question. In the new trailer, some of the guns say illegal on top of them. What does it mean?
They are not legal. That's
Dang.
Why?
next question. No, but
So illegal weapons are basically weapons like from regular manufacturers that were modified in Dogtown by the in this gray area. So you don't really know what's in there. They are more dangerous. They are more like extreme versions of the normal guns. So they have like bigger payoffs, but also like bigger disadvantages. Whether it is about like handling or the reload or the effective range, all of those things can change. But the guns are like even more prominent when it comes to their own style and character. The cool part about it is that you have like plenty of options in your character progression to mitigate a lot of those downsides, effectively, reducing the negative side while still maintaining all the positive sides.
yeah, you can buy them on black market plus in Dogtown, and Vargas uses them
So
as
they're
well.
Phantom Liberty specific.
Yes.
Yes.
Vargas uses
Absolutely
them as well.
Phantom Liberty specific.
They are quite mean people, and
Yeah.
they would use illegal weapons definitely.
All right, so the last question for you guys, and it's like more of a personal question. Do you have any fun moments to share from the development on Phantom Liberty, something that made you laugh?
Oh.
Hmm.
Making games in general is fun, so
Oh, yeah.
it's hard. But I think I have one. It happened some time ago already, and maybe I will not go into like the technical specifics of it. But there was a moment I'm sure you remember this, Philip, as well. There was a moment in which we basically had to make sure that appearances in our engine work properly. And the way we approached it is that we decided that the fastest way to make sure that those are right is to change the ones that aren't, so we see it clearly. And we decided, I'm not sure if it was a conscious decision or it happened by chance, but the way it happened is that those improper appearances got switched to be a chicken. So for like a week, we were able to drive chickens. We were shooting from chickens sometimes.
And there were a lot of chickens on the street.
Yeah, yes. There was one
Imagine
specific,
seeing this build.
scene that I saw with Alt that had a chicken in it that I will probably remember for the rest of my life, and it scarred me. But yeah, happily,
Oh.
obviously, this was only development.
Was old chicken?
No,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately not. And I would prefer for Alt to be a chicken in this particular scene, but unfortunately she wasn't.
I think I know what scene it is.
Obviously, it was only for development, and it lasted for like a week.
For me, it's going to be a boring answer because I don't recall anything like this, like a specific situation, because it was like work a lot. Like this was really intense time. Maybe the most fun I remember is after all of those risks that we took, because it was basically like an all-in situation. I don't think we could have gone like more extreme into the amount of changes we did. So seeing this all come together and like actually playing it and getting the feeling that we were aiming for, this was the definitely like the rewarding and fun part, and just playing the game once it was already in shape. So sorry, but this was the
No, it's good.
maybe not so fun, but genuine answer,
I
definitely.
mean, making games is fun.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's an amazing process.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. So this is all of the questions that we had for you today and all of the topics that we've already talked about. So let's sum up. We have airdrops in Phantom Liberty. We have Combat AI, which is reworked and it's super cool. We have Netrunners. We have elites when it comes to new NPCs. The stealth loop has been reworked. The net running is amazing now.
Nice.
Of course, it's been cool before. Then we have changes to the economy and to the balance, so you won't be dropping and picking up a lot of loot. Euro dollars now have more meaning. We have tiers instead of rarity for our items. What else?
UI changes, a
UI
lot of UI
changes, yeah.
changes.
Vehicle combat,
Vehicle
driving,
combat, yeah.
police, yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot.
So that's a lot, and I hope you guys will be able to check it out. So right now you probably are either downloading update 2.0 or already playing. So if you are playing, hope you enjoy it. If you haven't downloaded it yet and you're playing on PC, it would be good if you uninstalled your mods because they can, not
They
work
will,
well with the new
100%.
update, and wait a few days or weeks until the modding community can upgrade them.
True. Yeah, this was
And
fun.
yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Maybe a bit too
in a
long,
few
but
days,
fun.
on September 26th, you will be able to play Phantom Liberty on PC, Xbox, Series S and X, and PlayStation 5. And if you are curious about the sizes of the update, Amelia, could you share those?
Yes, of course. So for PlayStation 5, we're looking into 33 gigabytes. For Xbox, 38 roughly, and for PC, 24.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, so as you guys probably remember, last time we teased the surprise for the
It was
content
$60
creators,
on
which
release,
was
if you're
support a
talking
streamer
about
program.
Cyberpunk.
But now we actually have something for you. So be on lookout for Twitch drops that will be starting once Phantom Liberty is out. The website with all the details will be also revealed very soon. So just stay tuned for the details and jump on Twitch to actually get those items because these are really cool. I almost swear there.
Yeah.
I already used the swearing ticket, I think.
Yes,
The
one per stream.
Yes.
For the stream, yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right.
It fits.
It fits, yes. Do you guys have any last words to our community before we wrap up?
I guess thank you. Some of our changes, maybe not, rather we know what type of things you really love, and we put a lot of emphasis of making those a little bit more awesome. But in general,
Yeah, it's true.
we see your support and it means a lot to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here with us today, and I hope to see you guys next time. And yeah, let's go play 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
Play it, thanks. Play the game.
Play it.
Play.
Thank you,
definitely.
Yeah,
guys.
go play it, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh man. Okay, so we're gonna leave this in the. Man, this was good. So a bit too long maybe for my taste when it comes to like these shows. I always like to keep them an hour. But this was fun, they talked about a lot. They covered pretty much everything. They covered a lot from Phantom Liberty actually. So it might confuse some people. So airdrops, car boosting, that's Phantom Liberty. That's not 2.0. It's not gonna be in 2.0. The reason why I cannot play Phantom Liberty, the reason why I cannot play 2.0 is because I have Phantom Liberty installed, and if I go live, what's gonna be happening? You might have a spoiler. So no. And plus that's also not I cannot do that. So there's gonna be 2 videos today, I think. So one of the videos which I already have done, and I'm gonna be releasing it later. So 2 videos are done. First one is about 2.0, where I'm using my own gameplay, so where I talk about a lot of this stuff which was here, because the first impressions of 2.0 are good, but I don't have my gameplay to talk about it properly. And the second of all, something people have been asking for, I will be posting but that's gameplay of some of the 5-star wanted level and also the vehicle combat. So that video should be coming later. Again, the first video I'm uploading is going to be the showcase of 2.0, where I talk about some of the stuff I noticed. And second video is gonna be this 5-star wanted gameplay and For tomorrow, we shall see how it goes. I have some things in the plan, but I'll keep those under wraps for now. But yeah, so how is everyone enjoying? Did you all download? Like, what's going on? By the way, did announce when Switch update will start. So Switch update starts in about 2 to 3 years. Yeah, so listen, reset factory to work. Don't listen to this guy. Do not reset your consoles. Do not delete System 32. Do not go into CMD. I've seen some of those comments. Just wait for the update if it's not already. Keep in mind, I don't have Xbox, so I don't know how it does. On GOG, it should start. On Steam, it's definitely out. On PlayStation, I think people are already downloading. So this was a good stream. We broke the record for the concurrent people watching. Thank you so much. I never expected that we're going to break all of the channel records we had so far. I didn't expect it. We're going to break it here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for, you know, choosing this place to watch the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Enjoy 2.0. Be sure to, again, take it slowly. Go to your build first. And don't reset your attributes unless you don't have to. So check out the attributes you already have on your character. Do a hard save and then see if you can reset. And if something goes wrong, just, you know, load up the save and that's it. But definitely spend some time on perks, spend some time on cyberware, so you can properly like see what the differences are, because there is truly a lot and you really have to like go through it. So yeah, thank you for all of the likes, thank you for everything. Now I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna start uploading all of these videos. So yeah, I think the first video should be out in about 2-3 hours, and then the gameplay, the straight gameplay, should be out later, because I don't want to release it straight away, because releasing video after the live stream can be a little bit problematic for YouTube, because you don't get notified that I've been uploading anything. So thank you for everything, definitely. Thank you for coming in, and yeah, I'll be live soon. When Phantom Liberty comes out, I will be going live to stream also my gameplay, of course, spoiler free, so don't worry about that. I don't know about the exact date when I can stream, but it should be in the next few days. I don't even think I can say that, so I should be able to stream the game the next couple of days. So we're gonna be streaming that, and of course expect a lot more videos. If you want, follow me on Twitch, join our Discord, and yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Now go enjoy the update. I wish I could play now though, but yeah, I mean, what might happen is I'm driving in Night City, I get a call, and especially now, where I am in Phantom Liberty, every single bit of information would be a major spoiler, and that's something I don't want ever to do. So, yeah. Darkstar Radio, really amazing so far. Yeah. Everything which is a rave is good. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you everyone very soon with new videos. Stay classy, chooms. Bye bye.